every time these players play, even though Hera's usually getting the better of Yo, the games are always good. And I actually think that is a characteristic of Yo. If you want to find a player who gives you an entertaining series, win or lose, typically that's going to be Mr. Yo. So as we enter the final here, Hera's the favorite. Now, here's something I've got to bring up. Every time Hera was like losing a game in earlier rounds, so especially in that series versus MBL, which went to 7, it would immediately be brought up, this is only an A-tier tournament. This isn't even an S-tier tournament, right? Anytime there's any worry, it's only A-tier. So if it's only A-tier, are we going to expect less performance from Hera today? If it's only A-tier, is he going to struggle? What are we expecting? I don't know.
I think there's just like maybe 10% less effort put in, but the effort level for Hera is generally even 10% less is higher than most other players. If not everyone else. Even at 90% Hera or 80% Hera, right? He hates to lose. That's the thing. It's more that than he wants to win. He just hates to lose. And that's amazing. You can see it in his gameplay. I will say for Yo versus Hera, and we've seen it a lot recently, I'm actually, stunned that Yo has been doing so well over the last year or so, because he kind of fell off for a little bit there. And then recently he's been making it to the finals more or less consistently, or the semifinals. The game number 1, I think, is the important one, because in the last 2 or 3 sets we've watched, it's always been like a 1-hour game 1.
Yes.
Do you remember in Warlords, the one with the pond in the center?
Border dispute, I think, right?
Border dispute.
Yeah.
Insane game. Yo was winning, and Hera booms back and wins it. I think in the previous time they matched up, it was like the same energy as well. It might have been that Regicide Fortress.
Yeah, Regicide Fortress. It was
maybe that was game 1. I can't remember.
Garrison too. Garrison had a Regicide Fortress game, which is really close. Yeah, and actually taking it a step further, Hera tends to have those games in almost every single final where it's really competitive, and then whoever wins that slog ends up winning the series. There's also some other examples, the crazy games against Tato, where like Tato looked like he was completely defeated afterwards. So, you got to win those games. And usually whoever wins those games is able to get the job done. But we've got a pretty passive game here. Sometimes on enclosed, you can be pretty close together, but they're pretty far away. And we've got a Hindustanis, Vietnamese. I like the Civ matchup. It's not the type of Civ matchup that the Hindustanis necessarily were picked for. I think they're picked a lot to counter Civs like Slavs or Franks or typical like Knight Civ. And we've got a Civ that can go Knights, but mainly Archers for the Vietnamese.
I think in this Civ matchup, I actually like the Vietnamese late game better, just because Hindustanis really struggle against elephants, but the idea that you're even going to get to elephants really far away. Right?
Yeah.
So early on, both of them have great economies, with the Hindustanis having cheaper vills, the Vietnamese having cheaper upgrades and coming in faster. However, Hera with the Hindustanis is just a demon, right? It can take advantage of all of their tech tree, and he can take advantage of the cheaper vills to just scrape those tiny little advantages out. And I think it should be a little bit favored towards him.
Yeah.
For the early stages of the game anyway.
Vietnamese have to be played a certain way, and I think where they struggle a little bit is their transitions. We're actually going to see an Archer opening here for you, but usually you tend to see them open like a lot of other Civs, and they're hoping that in late Feudal they don't have to do anything too crazy and they can just spam Cav Archers or play Skirm defense. But like you said, I think that the Hindustanis are a bit more flexible, and Hera able to go up a little bit faster could just be because he's stretching his build a little bit, but also could be because his villager is cheaper and he knows that Yo doesn't have Loom, and he's lurking around, and he's making Yo think that he might try and snipe that villager right there.
Yeah, he also spotted the gold now, so he knows it's not going to be a scout opening for Yo. It's probably going to be Archers, and it'll just keep the scouts out, and he'll keep map position, be able to track the movements from the Archers from Yo.
Yeah.
And then maybe add in Skirms himself if he needs to. He could also just like keep Yo penned in and greed out a faster Castle Age.
I love that. I love that.
Because
But so many people garrison their vills there, and Yo's been up against that so many times. He's like, you're not actually going to attack me. You're just trying to force a reaction. So, scout fight's close. Will Yo back off? Nope. He doesn't, and that's just a coin flip right there, and Hera wins the coin flip, and that hurts for Yo because he doesn't know Hera's opening right now, and now he doesn't have the scouting.
And he instantly goes for a tower on the gold. Okay. As soon as he lost that scout, instantly with a tower because he doesn't know his opening. Like you said, it could be scouts, it could also be archers. And then he gets surprised on the gold, even though it's walled up, and starts losing villagers. He is actually going out towards the berries. Once that tower is up, it'll somewhat protect the berries there too. And he'll have the spearman there to protect the vills. But you still got to be careful if Hera's got 3 scouts. Nice pick from Yo.
Yeah, I like
starting scout.
I really like Hera taking that fight there. Obviously, he had some good fortune to win it because it is kind of 50-50, but you're going to have more scouts anyways. So the risk kind of paid off in that way. Even if he lost that fight, he was still going to have more scouts coming forward. Yo knows what's coming now, and that's good. Maybe he didn't need the tower, but the tower is also pretty nice to have if Hera's going to transition into anything else, and Hera's going to be going skirms already. Just, you're really far away with those skirms for the time being, so it doesn't really do anything right now.
Does Hera see this army that Yo is sneaking out to the right? He's not seeing it right now. Let's see if he senses that that's coming, because all the skirms are going forward at the moment for Hera. It's not the most dangerous army, but if Yo manages to snag fletching, he can pick a few vills with 2 archers.
I'd be a little surprised if I'm Hera right now. Like, seeing fletching, I'd be like, whoa. Like, I'm already going skirmisher transition. I'm fine with that. Like, committing more towards archers is good for me. But yeah, he doesn't see the archers. And this should be an indicator for Hera that this is happening. However, Yo is running into the darkness, bro. So he's just hoping that there's villagers exposed. Hera's outside eco is very much to the left. So I think Hera has a lot of time to sense this and have some skirms in defense.
Let's see which path Yo takes. Gotta go to the outside. There's still 2 water buffalo there he could actually snag, but I don't know if he's going to see those. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, might as well do something with them. And this would be a good time for Yo to consider a stable if the skirms are going to be coming.
Does Hera not have a spidey sense? Like, keep 1 skirm at home? I guess he been playing it up against Leary too often. Leary oftentimes just keeps the archers in the range,
should have a spidey sense. Like, we're expecting him to have the spidey sense. That should be a villager down then. Yo should take this opportunity. Now they're engaging at Yo's base. Hera's skirms are going to get some pickoffs there, but Yo should kill that Vill, and yeah, that's a nice Vill snipe there for Yo. You're going to take that. I could actually get more if you're a little bit lucky. But it is Hindustanis, right? So the villagers are super cheap. So you're not really that concerned about 1 villager loss.
Yo might pick off the skirmisher, too. It's not the greatest start for Hera at all, honestly.
Yeah, maybe a little warm-up game needed here. The thing about Yo is he also tends to have kind of slow starts. He loves to play that first game out, win or lose, as long as possible. But yeah, Yo defended. Will have stables, scouts on the way, but now his villagers are exposed, and Hera will sacrifice some scouts here, but that's going to be a villager pick for him as well.
I think that's a fine trade if you're Yo. You get rid of the scouts there. You can go with scouts of your own to deal with the skirmishers. And both of those guys are pretty weak. He still has the archers hidden away near Hera's base, but he's nervous about going in with those. They both get a villager pick. More or less even so far. Yo's got a little bit of extra res collected. And he managed to sneak in horse color as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am surprised.
And he's bringing back the water buffalo. There we go.
Yeah, I am a little bit surprised that Hera didn't know those 2 archers were going to come out initially. And also a little surprised that those 2 archers actually got away there. So, Mr. Yo, able to take some good engagements, keep his units alive. Someone asking, like, why is, like, Hera Leary typically pretty close? Why does Hera always seem to have Yo's number? I really just think it's because their strategy's amazing from both. But then, like, the speed and execution from Hera is just way higher, right? So that's what I'm expecting coming into this, is Hera's going to have the big fight wins. And the strategy's going to be great from both. And Hera takes the fight. He will clear out all the archers. And I think that's okay for him. It's still only 2 scouts.
Yeah, he was trying to pick off these weak skirms, but he's targeting one with high HP, and Hera has more scouts coming along. So those skirms are going to stay alive. All the archers there dead for Mr. Yo, and he's sending those 2 archers back this way. Okay, now he's coming back across towards the berries again.
There's just something about the way the archers walk that adds to the sneakiness.
Is there?
Yes. I was expecting you to be like, I know, like you've always felt the same. But no,
they walk like robots, dude.
They look, they're walking like they don't want to make any sudden movements. That's the point.
Okay.
Way to have my, all right, that's how this final's going to be. You're supposed to have my back. You're supposed to have my back. Well, lie then or something, you know? You're like, come on, we're working together.
They walk like they really have to poop, dude. They're trying to hold it in.
They're dead now, so I guess they don't have to. Yo's getting forging, and Yo is gonna try and push back against the skirmishers again. And if he can get a trap, or oh man, even just get a gate on the other side of those skirms so they can't run away from the scouts, it would have been huge. But Hera knows. Like, Hera knows he is such a good skirm number that Yo has to add more scouts. And so he continues to add his own scouts, and he's going for the armor upgrade now.
Yeah, armor upgrade coming in for Yo. It's already in. That doesn't help against the skirms, but it does help against the scouts.
Yep.
And Wheelbarrow is going to be in for both. So pretty extended feudal age here on Enclosed.
Mm-hmm.
And second range now for Mr. Yo.
Just so much more army.
Well.
Just so much more army for Hera, though, right? That range produced the skirmishers nonstop, and they do produce faster than archers. We used to always think that like Archer Scout was better because archers do damage against the scouts, and in fights, that's true. But what people are showing us more and more now is like the skirm numbers and just how many you can get out there is really the difference between the two comps. He's got 15 skirms right now. Yeah, Bloodlines is about to be in.
Okay, Bloodlines is in. Yo comes in with the archers. He's trying to target the scouts with the archers. Once the scouts go down, you can take care of the skirms with your scouts. But Hera's got the armor as well, and Hera has enough scouts there and enough skirms to clear this up. We still have some scouts from Yo, and he's got the reinforcements closer, but look at the HP on those.
Yeah, really weak.
Really, really low.
That's not the fight that Yo wanted at all. He just assumed that he would have the upgrade advantage, but he didn't have the total military units. And you can't lose that range either, and the Hindustanis destroy the building so quickly that he might lose that archer range.
It's still not awful. It's still not awful for him. He's adding a second stable. We look at his resources. They're looking good. Hera's not up yet. Overall res collected is higher for Yo. Not too much higher, but still, it's okay. I'm really surprised that he added the second range first instead of a second stable.
Yeah, maybe he thought that his initial range was going to go down. His resource balance is actually very nice here, yeah, and they both lost a Vil. Hera's just going to fall back home now. I wonder if Hera's expecting a counterattack or the reasoning for falling back. I guess he can't attack the range anymore. And he's probably pretty happy with how that engagement went. So there's Castle Age on the way for Hera. And Yo is going to head the other way right now with the scouts and a couple of those archers. And that's actually where Hera's gold is. Ooh.
Hera can sense that, though.
Yeah.
He's got his scouts over here, too. And he's bringing his skirms back. So he's up to the Castle Age, not producing, and just playing defensive now to protect himself.
Yeah, now what unit you don't have access to if you're Hindustanis is Knights. And that's actually really concerning against the archer numbers. So key for Hera is he's got to keep those skirms alive. And he's got good, healthy skirm numbers. And yeah, he knows now the skirms are protecting the left. The scouts were on the gold. And if Yo's got the scouts here, the archers might be nearby. And it is only 3 archers, but 3 archers might be able to sneak over here now.
They're tracking that army really well, too. And he got Horse Collar before the next round of farms, which is great because he's got 23 farms at the moment.
Yeah, that's good. And the new lumber camp's coming up from him. Yo's new lumber camp's coming up at the same time. All the right moves you would expect. And again, I said it about Mr. Yo. It's like, because that looked kind of dangerous there. And with Hera, there's a lot of inevitability sometimes. It's just, he bends, but he never breaks. And he's so adaptable the longer the game goes. He built the tower, but he's mined some stone. So he can recover and add the TCs. And yeah, we'll have some pretty big fights here.
I love this wall off around the gold from Yo too. So often on this map, you're so busy with the fights, and then you look back, and even if it's camels, you look back and there's camels under your tower.
Yeah.
Just screwing around with your gold vills, right? So Yo's going to wall that off now. He could eventually go for a TC somewhere around there. The stone you mentioned is great, so he can start the boom, because you definitely have to match the villager numbers from Hera. I don't think with that amount of skirms, you're going to be able to kill him immediately in Castle Age. But look at Hera has completely misjudged this.
Yeah.
He is leaving with the skirms. He's leaving with the scouts. And Yo still sees those villagers on that gold with his starting scout. He's going to time this maybe perfectly.
I'm shocked.
Hera doesn't know about the crossbows.
I'm shocked.
Wow,
Look
what
what
a
Yo
misread from Hera.
Look what Yo did. That one scout went into check, and Hera's got scouts. He could do the same thing, but he just kept all those scouts together, and his units are trapped here. He'll be pushed off his main gold, and camels will not defend this either, Dave. Camels are not enough. Hera now he's going to be desperate for counter damage, and it's not walled. The tower is not fully walled for Yo. If it would have been walled, his vills would be safe. My
There's
goodness.
a TC there. He does lose 3. He did all the right things. He walled that off, and it just wasn't... Maybe there was like a hole where the bamboo was or something? I don't even know where that hole was.
Yeah. Yeah, so both players off of gold is kind of crazy, and they both need gold units to defend this. But I love this from Hera. Again, Yo not being fully walled. The skirms can actually run in and disrupt the wood line. But Yo, I think, should fight every temptation in him to leave Hera's main gold. I think he cannot allow Hera to go back to that. And just rely, if you don't have gold right now, both players need to build a market and buy and sell some res to stabilize this.
Gonna kill more vills. Yo finds 2 more villagers. Dead. So, Eco KD, 8-5 currently. Res collected is slowly creeping upwards there for Mr. Yo. He also managed to snag Heavy Plow. Which is something that only the Vietnamese could do in this situation, maybe, with the discounts. And
Hera,
crossbows still hanging around, and Hera's still not on gold.
Yeah, but you don't need gold for skirms. You don't need gold for light cav. So the army that he's primarily using right now is actually something he can continue to produce from. And those are pretty weak scouts for Mr. Yo. So the protection for those crossbows is gone. Hera can be back on golds. And at the same time, Yo is back on golds because Hera's army not enough to deal with the knights and the cav archers from Yo. So yeah, this is... I mean, I guess a 10 villager lead for Yo is actually pretty massive. But as Hera drops the TCs, I think this is a very even game.
Good value from these crossbows, clearing up the camels. Really, really good value, because they're probably going to die anyway to the skirms. So he kills 4 camels. That's nice.
This is where I would personally feel kind of awkward playing as the Hindustanis. Like, how are you spending your gold in this matchup? If you go camels, the archers feel pretty good from the Vietnamese. If you go like
spending your gold in Castle Age, why not just boom?
Yeah, maybe you don't.
Go skirm like out.
Yeah, maybe you don't. I think Knight against double gold comp you could have some problems. Like Knight Cav Archer could be an issue. But then again, it's tough for Yo to consistently mass those units. So yeah, Hera might actually just play Light Cav Skirm all the way up until Imp and in the mid stages of Imp and just turn this into a raiding game.
Yeah, I think Light Cav Skirm, you try and get the relics while you can, and then you just try and catch up on vills and expand your villager lead. That's a good TC there for Mr. Yo. Light Cav's still roaming around, but Ballistics is going to be in for Yo. So those Light Cav won't be able to come in and snipe vills anymore, at least easily, with the Cav Archers around. And Yo is just playing a little bit defensively. He's not trying to get damage because he knows the amount of skirms that are around for Hera.
Back to what we just saw, though. Some players, maybe not in the top 10, right? But some players, when they get hit off gold like Hera just did, they come back home with everything. And that's the incorrect play. Because if you do that, you do no counter damage. So it was actually a great call from Hera. He knew once he got hit, Yo's not going to have that big of an army at home, and he needed to find something. And good fortune that the walls weren't up around that tower from Yo, but it's why our game is even right now.
It goes down from Yo. He's adding a monastery, so he's thinking about grabbing these relics on the left side. Hera's still got the Light Cav roaming around there, and he's still got Light Cav on the right, too.
Yeah. There's a lot of relics on this map. I think there's usually 6, but sometimes there can be 7. And they're all around the little stone terrain. So it's actually really difficult to get them.
Normally at this point, you would see a villager sneaking its way forward from Yo, and he would go for some random siege workshop, like in the back of Hera's base or something like that. but I don't think you can do that against this amount of skirms and light cav.
Oh, God.
Ooh, that's not a great engagement for Yo. He gets out of it, though.
Yeah, luckily, Hera doesn't have ballistics, and I think Hera is kicking himself for not having it. He has the university now, so he'll probably get it. Yeah, another thing I've noticed is that they both are in a really good spot as far as gold is concerned. Sometimes you only have one in your corner. Hera's got 3, so that's better than Yo, but Yo still has 2, and he's town centered them already. And +2 armor is in for the Knights for Mr. Yo, and Hera's skirms have gone a little too far forward here. Now, this is what I mean. Now you're going to try and go camels in combination with these skirms, and the Cav Archers could maybe do a good enough job against the camels. We'll see.
If you're Yo, do you add a 4th TC in this situation, or do you try and go for the castle first? Like, what?
I like the 4th TC
here?
because I think it's really difficult to finish off games against Hera, and it's very difficult to finish off games on enclosed. So that's why I like the 4th TC. But Mr. Yo loves Rats and Archer. And so maybe he loves that, and he loves his forward castles. So maybe that's on his mind right now. And if he wins this fight, like that was an expensive loss for Hera, maybe now this is the position to start bringing the Vills forward. It's a little risky.
10 Vills with this army. There's the Siege Workshop.
Okay.
The classic.
Yep.
For Mr. Yo, right? It's so funny when you watch this guy because he's such a good fundamental Age of Empires player. Like he has really good game sense, and he almost always waits till he has 3 TCs to go for that forward Siege Workshop. Where a lot of other players will make it when they have 1 TC in Castle Age, right? If they want to apply that pressure. Yo wants the eco behind, and then he wants to keep up Mangonel production even after the point where most players would have stopped.
The thing that's impressive about Yo is very rarely do you look at him and say, wow, nice micro. Very rarely do those words come out of our mouth, dude.
And he knows it, too. Like, he plays his entire game style around losing fights.
Yep. That's why he goes for fast units.
Would win.
Yeah,
exactly.
He goes with Cav Archers, and he goes with Knights, so he can get himself out of bad situations, and that is another horrible fight for Hera. Hera is just really struggling to be able to find a composition that can compete with this. And really, when you think about the tech tree for the Hindustanis, and what he has access to, the answer is Hera just needs more of what he already has, because I don't think Ghulams are great. Not now anyways, because you don't have a castle and there's Knights. And your own Cav Archers are just worse than the Vietnamese CA.
Great job from Hera, by the way, leaving that light cav over near the Relic. He just sniped a monk, and he's bringing another Relic in. So he's going to have 2. It's going to be a struggle for Yo to get that one forward. He's going to try and get it. But what an army for Yo. +2 Knights and the Cav Archers with ballistics.
Look at the difference in eco upgrades,
really
too.
Brutal.
Hera is really far behind in eco upgrades. He doesn't have bit axe. He doesn't have heavy plow. He doesn't have handcart. And this, if the Vills were here now, could maybe end the game if Yo could drop that castle, because that is another great engagement for Mr. Yo. And now there's siege. We haven't even seen the siege fire a shot yet. Like, Hera needs an answer.
Here come the Vills. Here come the Vills. 10 of them coming forward. Another archer range there for Mr. Yo. I would love to see something on the right side, like outposts or something for some map control from Yo. Thumb ring on the way for him too. 34 army, and it's a really valuable army against only 23 from Hera, and Skirm Camel does not feel great in this situation.
A lot of players would think Imp right now and stop producing, but I think you just got to keep going if you're Yo. It's working. Why stop? Hera will dive with the camels. Now they have more armor than they did before, but they still are getting killed off pretty fast against those Cav Archers. So the Knight Meat Shield is enough here for Yo. His castle's probably going to go up. He does lose a lot of his Knights. Hera's Skirm Micro is really good there, but the castle's just perfectly timed. And once the castle's up, now Hera's got a TC that's in jeopardy. His army is in jeopardy, and the siege push can continue. Maybe now Yo thinks about Imperial Age.
Yeah, also, I want to see him lock down that right side, because Hera's going to make it messy over there at some point if it feels like he can't push back this castle. Even just vision over there would be huge.
Yeah. Crazy how they've been able to get relics, both of them. Like, it's been such a wild game. Again, Hera's got a lot of golds. Like, we've seen him, as we say, or you say, rat it out a lot and just survive. And he's Hindustani, so his Vills are super cheap. So he's got the Civ and he's got the map here to be able to hold on. But one of his TCs will be down. And Yo's going to be on the way to the Imperial Age. action on the right side starting, so Yo has a decision to make. If Hera sends camels that way, maybe he needs a defensive castle on the right side.
I think you go for the second castle over there. I don't think you go for the second castle forward.
Against any other player, maybe. But I just
No,
kind of feel like against
any
Hera,
other player, against any other player, I think you go for the second castle forward. Against Hera, you have to go for the one on the right.
Maybe.
Because he's going to punish you. That's his comeback mechanic in so many games.
Yeah, maybe. I guess it depends how you see it, right?
People don't do it. Yeah, people don't do it. Also, a tower in the middle from Yo. That's always annoying.
Yep. Yeah, he's chopping pretty fast there, too. I mean, he might eventually cut through. We can't forget about that, because that's where a lot of that farming eco ends up.
Get the paper money instantly.
Well, we're about to find out where Yo wants that castle. He doesn't actually have the vills nearby if he wants to build a forward one. So this feels to me, especially now that the camels have gotten some kills on the right, maybe he'll drop the castle there. He's got the relic advantage, and I think Yo will like this Civ matchup. Especially with how things have gone so far. But the camels and the skirms can obviously get a lot stronger. There's a point where the camels are just too tough to beat, and Hera's diving. Wow. Underneath the castle. He'll lose a lot of camels, but he does take the mangonels.
Like the annoying addition of a ram as well from Yo. You take out the stable there, then you're working away on the houses, and Hera's just like, oh god.
Yeah.
It's so annoying when he does something like that. Such little investment. That thing's going to do a lot of damage.
That castle's crazy. Like, he has, like, very little army there right now. But that castle actually protects some of the additional stone and gold there, and also that opening. I'd like to see a wall from that wood line to the rock terrain to path some of the units into the castle. We don't see that enough. But,
A bit late from Hera's standard to his first castle as well.
Yeah.
And he's going to place it defensively. That's a very Hera castle over there. He's going to try and hold this area. And it wouldn't surprise me to see the next two go inside the farm eco, and then he tries to, claw his way back into this game, because he can kind of sense where the momentum is going, or it has been, rather, in Yo's favor. I mean, just look at the score.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yo's going to have a really tough time getting good raids in, and it's very easy to sink a lot of resources into military now and have that all die to heavy camel. Heavy camel's a completely different story. And also, Rats and Archer isn't a great play if your castles aren't all together. So I don't think he can commit to Elite Ratson with the castle split. He is going to go two castles on the right, though. Ooh.
He's got the barracks here, and Vietnamese get the extra HP on Fire Lancer, as we saw yesterday in Hera's set. Elite Fire Lancer 102 HP.
I mean, his eco's like set up to do anything. So I wouldn't hate Halb, but if you have this much gold, I think Fire Lancer's great. So
I think it's better, because the skirms kind of rip through the Halbs, right?
Yeah, yeah. Agreed. Yeah, I think it is. You see it in queue now. He's not going for heavy Cav Archer yet, so the Cav Archers aren't maxed, but he goes for the raid. Now, Hera quick walling that up, but that tower is still only going to get stronger. It's going to be guard tower on the other side, and Hera's about to lose a town center, Dave. This is town center number 2 that he's lost, so we're used to Hera adding those vills after he loses them. But he's just under pressure. He's going to get another TC Trev down on the right side.
I honestly think, I forgot about Fire Lancer when thinking about this Civ matchup, but it changes the complexion of this matchup completely. Because if you were going to be playing Vietnamese here, you would go like Halb Cav Archer. But Fire Lancer Cav Archer kind of negates the skirmisher effect. And the Fire Lancers still do well against the camels.
They're 100 HP.
If he can get them out there in time. Yeah.
I think it's a unit that didn't actually need a buff, but no one was playing with them. And and I think they also were maybe bugged. And they're very, very strong now. The best thing about them for me is you're not multiple upgrades removed from being elite. Like a champion or like a Halb. You're just one upgrade. You just get Elite Fire Lancer, boom, 100 HP. And then wood and golds is actually easier to spam sometimes than a lot of food, because the farms take time to pay off.
Yo is getting keep with Vietnamese. They don't get masonry, they don't get architecture. It's not a Civ we see keep very often. I mean, at this point, they get Bombard Tower, right? Just get Bombard Towers instead.
I mean, I don't mind it. Hera will actually have a tough time here because he is not chopping that many trees, so he might start building lumber camps in the south. You can see it now. That's just not going to last long term for him. And here come the Fire Lancers for Yo. Full upgrades. for the Vietnamese here, too. Incredibly strong. And Hera's still stuck on Camo and Skirm. We haven't seen any gunpowder yet.
Good luck with these skirms, dude. Good luck with the skirms against the Fire Lancer. He's not going to do much. He's going to try and micro down the Cav Archers, but the Fire Lancer's doing good work against these Camels, too. And this was just the right unit choice for Yo. He's going to clean up this entire army.
Yeah. And
these things are strong, dude.
Yeah, he didn't even need the CA, dude. The CA backed away to save themselves. They weren't even needed in the fight. And game number 1 of the final... And Mr. Yo, it looks kind of rough for him in Feudal, but it looks like he can't lose now.
He's repairing the Treb on the right. Hera calls GG, one of the most technical maps in our game. And Mr. Yo beats the #1 player in the world by just, you know, a little bit faster to the economy upgrades, a little bit better with the unit movement. Surprising Hera on the goal completely changed this game.
He outboomed him.
And fantastic effort. Yep.
He outboomed him. He had more eco. He had better relic control. He had better map control. We kept kind of waiting for that counterattack move from Hera, but I just wonder, do you ever feel comfortable counterattacking when you've got camels and you've got skirms? It feels like if you've gotten access to knights or you're maybe playing cav archers yourself, you can do that. But and we've seen a lot of instances where Hera can turtle and then the opponent overextends. Hera takes one big fight and he pushes right back, but he just couldn't do it. Well played.
Forward castle prevented the turtling from Hera.
Yeah.
Took out the TC, took out the farm eco. Then he has to keep all his units over there to keep the cav archers at bay. And that's why Yo went for that forward castle on the other side. And credit to Yo, like the Fire Lancers were clutch there. They would have won the fight. But I think part of it was also just the pressure on the right side, like one Treb, a few towers, and some Fire Lancers. And also the towers in the center. It just kept Hera a little bit too distracted. He couldn't push back.
Yeah, I thought that maybe Feudal Age, Yo was going to crumble, but he just has the way of staying in the game, man. And I think he had to build 2 towers, which is not necessarily ideal, but at the end of the day, he just collected a little bit more stone and rebounded. So, GG. Hera's still the favorite. We've seen him lose games before, but just a reminder what Yo's able to do. And I think Hera's got to be a little bit more aggressive against Yo and maybe find a map where he can do a bit more in Feudal Age. Because Yo's a slow burner, dude.
My 4-0 prediction's looking pretty good right now. I'm not going to lie.
And my 4-0 for Hera is not looking good.
You're washed, dude. You're absolutely washed. Now it's going to be Yo playing as Catans, and Hera's going to try and balance that out with the Incas. He did get a win against Leary with the Incas yesterday, and the plan is definitely skirms. And Hera actually came forward with the Eagle trying to lame early. Yo didn't let him get anything.
Yeah, Hera also brought in his elephant right away, so he wouldn't lose that. You only get 1 elephant, and then you get the group of ostrich. It's funny how Socotra works. If the laming starts right away, it gets crazy, and we'll see villager fighting, and we'll see more villagers come. But if the laming doesn't actually happen, it'll just be like super chill, and they might not do any damage to each other in Dark Age.
And this could be really bad for the Incas if that happens. Because Incas will struggle against Step Lancer civs.
Yeah.
And if Yo gets the pastures set up and Step Lancers coming out, it's going to be a problem for Hera. And we look at the map setup. Like, both of them are very far away from each other in terms of Socotra standards. They also don't have their hunt nearby, the other. And Yo's even got his hunt and his gold in the back. Yo's going to be looking at this map like, oh, baby.
Yeah,
Let's go.
This is a sick map for Yo.
Yeah.
I think Hera, being the Incas, eventually you're obviously going to need to rely a lot on gold. Now, other civs like Aztecs and Mayans, they definitely need the gold. Incas have the really cheap spears and skirms. Any unit that costs food is cheap, which is why they're picked for this map. But yeah, I agree. I mean, it could be some problems. My feeling is, I know they nerfed the Catans. I know the civ doesn't get bloodlines, but the pastures are still insane. I think they're OP still. So that should be Yo's game plan. You could be tempted to go for scouts, but more often than not, on a map like this, it's so easy to wall up. So just skirm, pasture, wall, and then try and get to Castle Age. With the pastures faster, the pastures.
Is this a map where Hera needs to go for something like a tower rush behind the skirms to shut down the pastures, to try and like range the farm eco from Yo?
I think The towers will probably only come if Hera feels as though Yo is underproducing army and going too heavy on eco. But I can count the amount of times Hera has gone with a forward tower over the past year on one hand. Actually, I can't think of a single instance. Because the tower I thought of that was a forward tower is actually a defensive tower when someone towered him. So, yeah, I don't think Hera's going to do it. He thinks it's bad for his eco. You can't defensive tower then. Something you should maybe consider with the Incas. More people need to try it. If it gets open and it gets crazy, you don't need to collect that much stone to be able to build 2 towers yourself. So you could then build a tower on your wood line. You could then build a tower on your berries and your gold. And then you're pretty much set. And that allows you to move out more freely and you don't need to play defensive. So that's something that we've seen in team games sometimes, the 2 tower approach. But with Incas, you should definitely consider it.
Always trying to push in the ostrich from Hera, and Hera's like, nah, dog. That ain't happening, chief. So he's going to push it back. But once Yo gets to feudal age, he will beat that eagle in a 1v1. Now, Yo's going to hang around in that area. There's not much map to scout. So he doesn't really have to worry about, wasting too much time over there with a scout. And he also doesn't really have to worry about an infantry opening from Hera because it's so rare. It's so rare to see Hera going for militia or men-at-arms. It's just not his style, right?
But he is doing it, and I actually really like that approach because he understands that just trying to match the skirm numbers in this skirm meta against the pastures is a mistake for 2 different reasons. I mean, the pastures have better food eco than farms, and also the Catans produce skirmishers 25% faster. I think it's scouts, spears, and skirms that are 25% faster. So, and Yo is not going to scout this. We'll see if he can get the wall.
Any other player? I think any other player, Yo would be scouting the barracks, but he brought his scout back. And it's just the Hera thing where you don't expect him to go for infantry. I think if you look at the score now, you're thinking, oh God, he's got something out there. And we'll see if he's surprised by the militia. Any
other player can get a super quick wall down here, but Mr. Yo, I'm not so certain. Oh, he gets the gate.
Baby.
There's actually not a lot of vills in that TC, though. Hera could run by. Hera should run by, my opinion.
I think it's fine. Yo's got the respect of Hera for the TC, and Yo's got the feudal age scout, so it's going to kill the eagle.
Yep, gate is locked. Gate went down. That was huge. Hera's man-at-arms almost getting through there. And now Yo was always going to build an archer range anyways. Dude, he actually wanted to trap those units there.
That would have been sick if he got that up.
Yeah. I still think Hera can just run through. Like, look how many times he's gone past, and there's only been 1 arrow.
Yep.
Might still be considering this.
I think he wants those to back up his range units, though. He wants something that can get through the walls from Mr. Yo. He doesn't want them trapped inside.
Yeah. Yeah, Hera does see the berries, but trying to push the opponent off berries now is not necessarily great. I wouldn't hate a tower on the range. You eliminate an entire archer range. That's an additional 175 wood that Yo has to place for a new one, and he has yet to place his first pasture because of all the walling he had to do.
Like the positioning of Yo's scout. He saw that the range was already up from Hera. No surprise there. But it's kind of preventing the skirmisher from coming out and annoying Mr. Yo early. So Hera's going to have to pull back with the men-at-arms. There's still no pasture set up. The wood eco for Mr. Yo, because he went up so early, as that's a sloppy way to lose your scout. The wood eco for him was not great, and he had to go for the walls too.
Yep.
So he's really been delayed on those pastures, and he was slightly delayed on the range as well.
He didn't actually adapt his build too. He went 7 or 8 on wood, which is what you would do for farms. But for pastures, I think you need to have 9 to 10 on wood. But he'll fix that. And it's 2 villagers per pasture, 100 wood for that, and only the Catans have this.
When do you tower here, if you're Yo? You don't really want to spend it on berries only.
Yeah. I honestly, I think you produce skirms so fast. I think you're kind of okay right now. The eco
the percentage
is going to
25%.
Yeah, 25% faster is crazy on one range. So Hera, and also I don't know. The only place I could consider a tower for Hera is actually right next to their archer range to get rid of it. But Yo could then counter tower, and then it's just completely fine for Yo. So I will say, when you wall up like this, it does hurt your eco. People forget to talk about that, and
Look at the res collected.
Res collected.
Yeah.
Yep. Hera's doing the right things. It feels risky, but when you know exactly what your opponent's going to do the whole way through, you see their army, playing open is actually the right play here.
I mean, that res collected, he will be catching up with the pastures going crazy, right? We already have 6 villagers working away on those.
It is interesting, though. I feel like we've seen Hera in Yo's current position many, many times. Just the walls, the eco, the skirms in and out of the TC. So Hera's the one bringing the aggression here. Now, if you can get to Castle Age faster, you can upgrade your skirms, but also you can just go Eagles then. But it is always tough with the timings because the Khitans also have the crazy step lancers.
Looks like a good choice to not go in with those men-at-arms at the moment from Hera, because they're really, really frustrating Yo.
Doing
damage to that archer range. You don't want it to go down.
Yo has struggled to keep up with this. He's gotten housed twice now, and he just got housed again. And it's pretty bad. I mean, his eco is not as efficient as it would otherwise be. Just finishing the berries now, still only has 4 pastures. It's about to be 5 and maybe 6, but yeah, range could go down. And Hera...
He's so stubborn with repairing this, and he needs to be, right? He doesn't have the eco to add another range and keep adding pastures. Nice snipe there from Hera on the villager.
I feel like this could maybe be a situation where you could consider going scouts with the Khitans because you produce them faster as well. And still that archer range. Great patience from Hera, just being attacked. He's only got 2 men-at-arms now, but the range is at 500 HP, and Yo just needs to rotate the villagers back again. Yeah, how are you supposed to freely boom when there's this much micro you've got to do? It's so difficult.
Fantastic play from Hera to just keep up the pressure, and game sense as well, to realize that this is a vital building that Yo needs to keep up, right?
Yep.
So Hera can keep the villagers coming out here, keep forcing idle time. Mr. Yo is adding pastures behind, so Hera's going to have to slowly try and make his way to Castle Age here at some point. But so far, great micro from Hera.
And his macro has been great as well. He's got the farms. He's now sending some vills onto golds. Like, Hera has not been outproduced. He's not been outfought here. And if he clicks up to Castle Age faster, it could just be the same old, same old. And the thing is, like, people want to see tech switches in Age of Empires. Don't watch a lot of Socotra then, because you don't have time. Like, you got to commit big time to the numbers and to the fights, and sometimes that's the only army you're going to get. I think that's been Hera's approach here.
I mean, he's trying to go up to Castle Age, but once he's up there, do you think he should make a couple extra men-at-arms?
I would say Eagles.
Okay.
I kind of like Eagles. And obviously I kind of like skirms. But maybe some nerds can do some mathing for us. I'm not that I'm not a nerd. I'm just not a math nerd. How much food did Hera save making these skirms? Because what's the discount? It's
discount is
20% right now.
20%, yeah.
So I just want to know, because he's up to Castle Age faster with a couple hundred more food. They both produce similar amounts of skirms. Just wondering what that amounts to. Because that could be the difference between Castle Age. Plus Hera using the market, of course.
Good few shots there from Yo. Hera was getting the advantage on the skirm wars, but Yo evens it out. 10-10 KD right now. So Yo actually has 1 more military kill because Hera got a villager. And it hasn't looked, like fantastic micro from Yo, but as it so often happens, he's done enough.
Yeah.
He's done enough, and he's going to click up the Castle Age here.
Viewers, I would like to ask for more feedback here. Thus far, Dave and I have had to commentate a skirm war, primarily a skirm war, for the last 20 in-game time minutes. How have we been doing to make this one interesting? Skirm v skirm. Have we compared the skirms? Good enough? Pretty good. All right. Not bad. Loving the skirms. Okay, we see some scouts now. So that's fun. I'm sure you can tell.
Sorry, I fell asleep there.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm back. I'm up. I'm up, dude.
I'm just not able to hold my opinion back on this skirm thing, dude. I've seen one too many skirms this week. There's so many.
Imagine Yo's opinion. Like, Hera's fine with this because Hera's got the map position. Yo is probably just like, God, this is just annoying. Right? And now he's just going to give up the range. He's like, whatever, bro, take it. So the stable is there. The scouts are coming out, which is actually great. A lot of players, I think, would have waited until they had the Step Lancer potential to make units. But the scouts coming in is really, really nice because now he can go out and scout whether the siege is coming right away and also maybe kill any monks that Hera is producing.
He really needs this archer range for elite skirm, though. If you are just stuck with feudal age skirms, you're in a rough spot. So Yo's scouts are distracting.
Dude, it's taken almost 3,000 damage. This one man-at-arms has done 1,200 damage.
Yep, and now he's going to die. Sad. And now Yo still has the range to get elite skirm. He's also going to make the lancers. Hera's looks a little uneasy about this right now. Those scouts could be hitting his eco. And, oh man, if only Hera would have had arson. Maybe the range would have gone down.
Maybe. I mean, or another man-at-arms, right?
Yeah.
Could have added a couple more. He already had the tech.
This is so nice from Yo, though. He's just giving himself space and time to breathe. And Hera starting to make crossbowmen now, too. A really nice move because he knows Lancers will be an issue. And then he'll have ranged units that can do a bit more. Remember, Khitans do not get bloodlines. So while the Lancers are doing damage, they do die pretty quickly.
If you're Hera and you see Elite Skirm isn't in and you see that range is at 132 HP.
Yeah. He needs to take it out, dude.
Yep.
He's
coming in, though, and Yo's repairing it again.
Ballistics on the way for Hera. He's going to have the 20 skirms in front and the crossbows behind. Yo can abandon the range now. And now Elite Skirm's in for him, but he won't have ballistics. Hera always seems to be one step ahead. I just would love to see Yo counterattack with the Lancers. You don't need the Lancers for the army right now. The army's not killing you yet. Get into Hera's eco. It's wide open, dude.
He's trying to. I really like this Lancer to the right. If he can bring that in towards the gold. Hera also expecting those Lancers to come in on the left, so that's good tracking from him. He's going to have the crossbows there.
That's amazing game sense from Hera. And yeah, with ballistics too. Yo does back away. And Yo has the other Lancer now. Hera needs a quick wall. He gets the quick wall down. That's crazy.
There's a hole in the back there, though.
Ooh.
Hera doesn't know about that. So Yo's going all the way around. And that Lancer is going to be very annoying. And this just frees up everything for Mr. Yo right now, which is fantastic. One unit, right? Pulls everything back. Lancer is in the back. That's going to be very frustrating for Hera. You can't really fight that off with just Vils. Exhibit A. It's going to lose him.
Yeah, Hera has to bring the skirms. That's a frustrating one for Hera. That can happen on Socotra sometimes. And now Hera can't really move forward with his siege. Now the skirms from Yo are moving over to the gold. But still, Hera has a crazy army number. And he has not been losing army. And at a certain point, you're going to have to kill Hera's army if you want to win the war.
You can't lose the skirms like this for free, Yo.
Yep.
That's an essential part of your army. But look at this. Yo knows he's going to distract all of Hera's forces over to that side. He pulls the Step Lancers over to the left. Hera made an outpost, so he saw that. And Hera's perfectly fine.
It's a great game. It's a great game. I mean, for as weird as Feudal Ages maybe was with the skirm, there's a lot of army now. We don't have town centers, which is kind of rare for these two, and it's just full military to the max. Yo's losing a big group of skirms on the right. He's able to escape with some of them, but he still doesn't have ballistics, and I'm worried about these Lancers. I just don't think the Lancers without Bloodlines survive all that long. They'll get on top of the skirms, though.
Against the skirms, though. And then once you have skirms from Yo and no skirms from Hera, the crossbows aren't looking super good, especially with that +2 armor in, but great micro from Hera. He's going to snipe down the Lancers. He's going to focus down the skirms with his own skirms.
Yeah.
And he's going to take a win on that fight. More skirms on the left side as Hera goes for a TC, but he should be fine over there.
Yeah, Hera, that's a good town center. And I think he's still just got to refocus up and just push this middle range there. Push that siege workshop. Having that hill is everything with these siege engagements. But nice job from Yo. Impressive how he's been able to avoid all this attack from Hera. And Hera sees the siege. He goes up the hill. He split micros. And he takes care of the rocket cart. Beautiful.
Other stable in the back. So Yo's running out of space here.
Mm-hmm. Yo is running out of military, man.
Mm-hmm.
his military count is like nil. He got 5 military, 7 military now. And yeah, the space is an issue. I guess that's the downside of the pasture. It's a little bit bigger.
He just canceled all of his step lancers and went for light cav instead.
I mean, I think he doesn't have the gold to make lancers and siege. Maybe he had to, because he doesn't have a lot of gold banked, and obviously he needs 1 or 2 really big siege shots right now. Yo needs to distract again.
He's gonna find him.
Like one or 2 units going somewhere else, so Hera has to focus there. But Hera should also understand that, and so he should never look away from this siege workshop. He's waiting for that rocket card, even spreading out his units now. Look how fast the siege workshop's going down. This is gonna come fast. Yo to the right side. And maybe last chance for Yo to surprise, and the rocket card's not even ready, dude. They're just ejecting from the far side.
They popped out on the wrong side there. He's trying to take the mangonels from Hera. Hera gets one of them. Hera's pushing in again with the skirms. The light cav are coming from behind. They might be able to snipe a mangonel here. And they do.
But then he loses. He's lost 3 rocket carts. He lost 3 rocket carts. He took down 1 mangonel. Hera's also won 2 TCs now, so his Vil count is rising. And this has been a great game from Hera, just consistently smothering the opponent. We've seen him be able to boom and play passive and play defensive. But this has been aggression, 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 man. Yo just... he can't find an answer here.
You come back from this.
You have to delete a pasture and build another siege workshop.
Maybe.
And then hope that the siege does something.
I mean, he's struggling, right? The pastures have been great. He finally caught up on res collected. He was behind for so long because Hera's eco was fantastic behind, untouched for most of the game. And it feels like he's gotten to a point where he just can't really do much with it. Without bloodlines, these step lancers are quite weak against the crossbows. Same with light cav that he's producing now. And he still doesn't have a siege workshop. He has to build it with 4 villagers over on the left side.
Yep. Yo tried a little counter there. The step lancer, but Hera has outposts everywhere, so he's not going to be surprised by anything. He knows that TC's about to go down. He knows that Yo is waiting for something more. And here it is. It's the fully upgraded light cav, only no bloodlines. And this is why the balance of this Civ is so tricky. They have the attack, but does it have the HP? Okay.
He takes out the mangonels. He takes out 4 mangonels. He's got the skirms here. He's bought himself a little bit of time, but Yo is no TC gaming at the moment.
He's got 1,200 wood. Where does he build the TC? I don't even know where to suggest he builds one right now. On the edge of the map, maybe.
The next game?
Yeah, the next game. Yep. That was sick from Hera. My favorite part about this game from Hera, it wasn't really everything that we cover with like the fights that were constant on the front. But I love how he played open and he just built like 2 outposts. His whole approach was, I will manage everything with military. And when the counterattacks came in, he knew it was coming. And he knew that he needed to react to it. So that's why the crossbows were always in a good position. And he never had to leave his hill in a panic. So just full control. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and he just, that pressure on the archer range, he never left that, which is wild, right? Like a lot of people, if they had the skirms, the men-at-arms, they would look for damage somewhere else. They'd be like, okay, maybe there's a hole, maybe there's a palisade wall, maybe there's an exposed gold or something I can push. He just stays on the archer range right in front of the TC. And Yo has to keep fighting there.
Dude,
he can't ever go up for a counterattack because he's low on wood because he has to spend so much wood on the pastures. And he only has 1 range.
I think Hera, like if he didn't have Incas, if he didn't have a unit that had all these bonuses with the pop space, and if he didn't play it perfectly, he could have been in trouble here. People are questioning the Catans. Hera did that in the quarterfinals, and it looked unstoppable. So the Catans have been great here. Look at the difference in the food. I mean, Yo's game plan could have worked if he had more time and space. But yeah, to your point, Hera just never let him breathe and never let him cook, and didn't really matter in the end. So GG. Yeah, as we're in here, and again, folks, it's not Regicide, which does affect their build slightly, and of course, there's no king to be sniped. I think it's very, very even, this matchup. A lot of it just comes down to how they're able to play early Imperial Age. I think if I had to pick a Civ here, I think Bohemians. because the Bohemians are just seemingly impossible to kill unless you go on for 3 hours like Tato did against Leary. So, but it's close.
It's the ultimate comp here for Bengalis. We know what the comp is for Bohemians.
Well, I still kind of feel like Ratha can be really good. I know that Bohemians have skirms, and everyone likes to say skirms count to Ratha. But I think committing to Ratha with Lycav is still really solid. And if you're not going for the Ratha, Elephant Archers take a super long time to get to, which gives the Bohemian player time that you maybe don't want to allow. And then Battle Elephants feels tough against the Halbs and the Monks. So I think if Yo has chances here, it's going to be through the Ratha to some degree. Did you happen to see or hear about the Tato Leary game?
I heard there was a good one. I didn't know what happened. Didn't see it.
All right, so right now on this map, there's 220,000 wood, there's 28k gold, there's 8k stone, right? At the conclusion of the game, there was 200 wood and 234 gold remaining on the map. That was it. It went down to the final 2 trees. It was Bohemians for Leary, and it was Burgundians for Tato. And
Burgundians is better there in the long term because they at least get some gold from their farms, right?
Yeah, and that's essentially that, and crop rotation is what made the difference. So, and yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. So, look at the relics here, though, dude. These relics are so unfair.
They are.
That's
very, very unfair. I mean, it's not. They're still far away from Hera, but they're really far from Yo.
Yeah. And that's kind of tough because right now they're not going to scout a ton because you're going to heal up their scouts in their castle.
Dude, I actually kind of like. I know you get more vision with the feudal age scout, but I kind of like luring one boar in early with the scout and then pulling the other one in standard with the villager, just so you can get your scout out a little bit earlier. Because there's so many times that we see people on this map like not having full vision on all the relics, and they want to collect them early. And then they're like forced to go after their opponent's monks before they can scout the rest of the map with their scouts early. So I think it's maybe better to get that extra 2 minutes of scouting in the Dark Age.
Yeah, I could see your point. Earlier. I mean, certainly it's going to look bad now. If Yo builds up to get relics and he just doesn't know that there's none around, then that's going to look bad for him. The thing is, though, like, usually with a somewhat balanced relic generation, which most of the maps have, you're assuming that there's going to be 1 or 2 in those dark areas nearby that you haven't scouted. So it's really hard for me to be critical of a player who goes out to get a relic or 2 because of that. Especially, like, you pick Bengalis because you can have the strong monks. So I kind of feel for him here. Hera might not find any of these relics himself, but it's going to be tough for Yo.
Do you think Hera goes for the relic contest, or do you think he just straight booms?
I think anytime you're up against Bengalis, you feel like you have to drop TCs first thing because they get the extra vills, and you don't want to fall too far behind in eco. So I think he'll boom. And then both players might make 1 unique unit or 2 just to protect the monks, because that could protect from the scouts. So that would be my prediction. But it is funny. If it was Regicide, they would know where the relics are right now because they'd be scouting with their king. So that might...
Yo wouldn't be scouting with his king. He'd have that in the castle.
True. Yo's like scouting the back of his base right now. This is a nice area to wall off later. But there's no relic back there for him. Also,
my tree mod still hasn't been updated, so I still have like the lush bamboo, the full big bamboo trees, and they look pretty cool, to be honest.
It is called lush bamboo. I thought you were just describing it.
It is very lush if you look at the full, like, regular image of it without the small trees mod.
You know what else is lush? Is it like the Asian pine? It's like the pink.
Is that the cherry? That's a cherry tree, right?
Okay.
There's also an Asian pine.
Okay. So I'm confusing them. I think I am thinking of the cherry tree, though.
The pink one, yeah. I kind of don't want to update my small trees mod, because it just looks so nice. The pink one and then this one, they look good. But I have all the other like pine trees and stuff and oak trees as small.
Huh.
So it's kind of cool.
Okay, that's cool. Nice bit of variety. Speaking of plants, there's this random plant that is growing in the middle of the cliff. Do you see it right by Hera's Scout?
No, because I have the plant remover mod.
Oh, come on. You're missing out, dude.
No, the plant remover mod is necessary.
Well, I play with the plant remover mod. So, and is there a pause for you?
Yeah, Hera pause.
Okay. Just making sure. Yeah, I expect TCs and it
Hera dropped.
Oh.
Hera dropped.
Okay.
Okay, let's look at the eco. Who has more res collect? Oh my god, Yo is 10 res collected ahead.
Damn.
Insane.
I think it's GG. I think we don't even need to play it out now. I think it should just resign. It's over.
Dude, I last night I got the one of the old Age of Empires like highlight clip videos recommended to me.
Okay.
And I bring this up because I think it's GG. I think it's over is exactly what Spring said in one of those to me, because I was at the end of it.
Yeah.
Do you remember the scout split that I did against
Yes,
Drunk
of course
Spring?
I do. Of course I do.
Oh my god, dude. I was dying laughing. I probably watched it like 5 times in a row. That was just Spring in his glory. He's like, man, you better stop making me laugh like that, because my wife's going to come down and beat me.
Freaking
like,
Spring.
oh my god.
Because it was like 4 a.m., I think. And he was laughing too loud.
Screaming, yeah.
So
oh god.
is this a admin re because of the relics?
Dropped,
or was there a drop and they're restoring?
I don't know.
Because if it's an admin re, it's a little late, but maybe they didn't get contacted from. So an admin re would be like, it depends on the script. In my opinion, that relic generation should be a re, but there's also been like the generations of maps they're using don't always have
admin re. Relic generation is not balanced at all. It's a re.
Okay, they just didn't say
or not.
That's just a person saying the relic generation is not
Oh,
balanced at all.
That's not an admin.
That's not an admin.
Take it back.
But an admin is typing. Like, I'm cool with it. If it's an admin re in their minds,
was a re. It was.
Then even if it's a little late, just redo it. But
yeah,
that also sets the precedent, because now the admin, if the script can do this, what if it happens again?
I don't know, dude. What you don't want to call any admin re's because it might happen again?
I don't have faith in some of the scripts that DE generates, and they're not using a map pack. So I'm just telling you, if that happened this time, it could very well be the same thing the next time. So,
oh my god.
We'll
Stay
see.
tuned, everyone.
Don't even get me started about the gold generations on 4 Lakes. Oh. But yeah. Speaking of the old times, every like couple months, I have to watch through the highlights of Ring Nothing. And Morgan Freeman Dave and Philster's PC and
oh god. It makes me laugh so hard, dude. Also, just like I was way funnier back then.
Glad you finally realized.
I think both of us were, honestly.
We used all our best stuff, man.
Oh yeah, it's all gone, man.
It's all gone, yeah. People don't realize that we're past our best. The relics look very fair here. Or fair-ish. It's still slightly better for Yo, but this isn't as bad as it was. So we are. Let me just do the proper intro. We are in Game 3. They had to rehost this. We've got Bengalis Bohemians. Dave and I compared the economies after they had to restart this like 8 minutes in, and it was dead even, so both civs pretty good. And they are a little bit closer, maybe. So it's a little bit more clear where some of those engagements might happen and some of the castle drops might happen, especially Yo's base. His gold and his stone are a little far forward there. But anyways, we're talking about how you're not funny anymore. Talk me through it, man. What happened?
Oh, I just said I was funnier.
Oh, okay.
I think, honestly, what happened is that I started casting solo more often, and I think it hurts the co-cast. Because I want to speak, the nature of casting solo is to speak all the time, right?
Yeah.
So I used to speak less, and I used to save up my lines.
You used to be able
a
to
little
think
bit
more. Yep.
True, and now I can't think at all.
Yeah, because you have to immediately.
I'm a full-time streamer. That's not part of my job type, like description, right? Thinking.
I mean, is playing Pokemon 30 hours a week enough time to think of some good jokes that could translate?
Nope.
Okay, because I've figured that could maybe be a really good opportunity when you're slaying what's his face? I don't know, Troy.
Roy?
Dude, I don't know. I like listen and I don't know what's going on. I'm just there to support, you know? I'm just there to mod.
Who's Troy?
Apparently not the right name. What's the
Your name Brock?
Oh, listen. Every Brock I've ever met has loved to be called Troy. It's like their nickname, so that's why I got it confused.
How many Brocks do you know?
You know, a few. You run into a couple Brocks here or there.
Okay.
Is that not a big thing in Canada? Just everyone named Brock? It's like
I don't think I've ever met a guy named Brock.
Nah, I haven't.
The only Brock I know is Brock Lesnar.
I was just gonna say that's the only Brock I've ever heard of. So I was just trying to.
Be called Troy.
Hey, no one here can say that he doesn't. All right.
True.
Maybe he's watching. I'm sure he's a big fan. But Hera in the blue on the left side now, and I think that both players should be really aware of where their secondary golds are. Hera's kind of in a much worse position as far as that's concerned. That's outside of his walls and to the front. Yo could house wall or even stone wall to the lush trees on the left. And maybe even a little bit to the right. Not bad.
It's pretty good, dude. He's got a lot of wood. He has extra resources, like you said, pretty safe. Very wallable. It's a much better map for him this time around. But not a bad map for Hera either, other than that one gold. A little bit further out.
Yeah, I think the fact there's towers there in the castle won't be too big of an issue. But where it could become problematic is when Yo plays this early imp, because he might want to play forward castle Trebor to get some damage done before Hera gets the bombard cannons out.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Yo found the relic on the right side. That's pretty close for him. And it is a little bit easier for the Megalis to contest for relics because the Ratha is faster than the wagon. I think also cheaper than the wagon. So I'd give Yo the edge in the relic war.
Yep. I mean, the one benefit of the wagon is that it can't be converted without getting the tech.
True.
Right?
True. Yeah, and I guess that can be a factor. I think eventually Yo's going to want redemption, but he's definitely not going to open with redemption. He's not going to want it early.
You can't open redemption. No, redemption is like a 28, 27-minute tech or something like that.
Can you imagine? I think they called the restart right before they hit Feudal Age last time. Can you imagine if Yo was going for the stable build and they didn't call that re? Because he's doing it now, and it makes sense. He's going to find some of the relics and be able to compete, but they were, like, super far away.
I mean, the stable's not bad at all, right? You can get some scouts on the field. Doesn't have to be too many.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can go for husbandry as well for your Ratha. So, could help quite a bit.
All right, speaking of the name Troy, I actually just had a memory. Do you remember... There was this player and I know you were mainly playing scenarios back then, and this is oddly specific, but there was this player on Voobly, and he would host 1v1 moats only.
Was his name Troy?
His name was Troy. American? He was an American player. His name was Troy. I forget what clan he was on. But for those that don't know moats, moats is like
CSA?
He was a CSA.
I remember.
He was a CSA guy.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. But Troy, if you're ever out there, dude, please reach out to me because I want to know if you have any of these recorded games on your PC, bro, because I can't find any now. So Moats is a crap map. It's not good.
Horrible, dude. All the ES maps were junk. Like all of them were coded terribly. And Yo's gonna miss this relic over here in the corner.
Oh yeah, that was my next question. But anyway, so to explain moats real quick, because it's just a boom game right now. You just have a moat around your TC. You have no wood inside of that island. And Yo runs into Hera's base. Whoops.
Get out!
Get out.
He's gone.
There he
He's
goes.
gone, dude. That was amazing, actually, to get out of there.
That was well played.
Yep.
I like how I'm trying to tell a story, and like that happens. Anytime I'm out of stories, that never happens. Perfect. Basically, guys, the water is unbuildable. So you're surrounded by water except for a tiny choke point. You can't dock it to escape. And so what would happen is, you know, some sucker who doesn't know the map would join this guy's 1v1 moats game. And Troy YOLOs all his villagers to wall the only way you can escape to get wood.
Yep.
And he got like 1900 elo because it's the only thing he would play. It was absolutely ridiculous. And people would get mad, dude. You look at his profile and there'd be people like, this guy uses crap map and he's fake elo and all pages and pages of flame.
Dude, that is still something that it's so sad we don't really have that to this day. I guess you could comment on someone's Steam profile, right? But like the Voobly profiles were great. If you were ever wondering about a player and how they played,
you just look at their profile.
Yeah. Some of the comments on there, dude. If you can see that the profile is like 15 pages.
Oh,
of comments,
man.
you're like, oh boy, this guy's a character.
The page that I found that had the profile I had that had the most comments was this like 1100 elo guy. I remember his name. His name was Kane Velaz, but it had like a bunch of X's and underscores as a Mexican player. Like 1100 elo. And he would, whether it was 1v1 or tower rush, or sorry, 1v1 or team game, spoilers, he would go like 12 villagers forward tower rush, and he would just tower rush both your stones and start from there. And it would tilt people massively. And I almost didn't believe it. I remember looking at the profile. People were like, horrible teammate, does stupid shit, blah, blah, blah. And bro, 4v4 islands, he's transporting and he's tower rushing.
Yeah.
Black Forest and everyone's walled, he's tower rushing the walls. 1v1, like, it was so crazy. And he had like 15 pages. Half of it was just in Spanish. People so angry at him, but some of them were kind, I'm sure.
Notorious for you. How many pages did you have on your profile, on your Voobly profile?
Maybe like 2. But I remember what you did. And you made life... You made life so much worse for me. So I hated getting tower rushed. And people who came back to DE don't even know. Towers were much stronger. Maps were much worse. And people were really good at it. And so Dave was... like, someone thought it would be wise to give Dave power on that platform. So he had the ability to change people's profile pictures. So
I was like a server admin, dude. I was like,
yeah,
in charge of all the custom scenario stuff, bro.
Like you could load in to play someone in 1v1, and right before you play, you can go to their profile and see. So people load up. They've never played me before. They go to my profile, and Dave had this stick figure image he drew on paint of this like scared villager dude, and there's a tower next to it with a bunch of arrows, and then he just wrote hates to be trushed. And so people would tower rush me so much more. It was so bad. I swear, like people didn't know, but then they saw that crap, and I just got tower rushed all the time. It's horrible.
And you couldn't do anything about it. You can't remove it.
Exactly. It was power abuse. It was an absolute abuse of power.
100%. 100%, dude. But now you can handle tower rushes.
Yeah, it did help. Yeah, it did help. Funny times,
Okay,
man.
so this game is 3 TC boom against 4 TC boom. Yo has the same amount of villagers because he got the extra ones with Bengalis. He's going to go for the 4 TCs. Or he's only got 1 relic. Back to the Voobly stuff. All of the posts on my newsfeed have been deleted. I'm so sad.
What?
I guess they ran into server space or something. I just logged into my account. They were there like a couple months ago when I checked.
Oh, wow.
They've all been deleted. I had like 35 pages of my old friends posting stuff on my... That's tragic, dude.
That's actually really tragic. Yeah, I was going to make a joke, but that's tough.
Yeah.
Well, Hera didn't add scouts here, guys, so he's kind of giving up the relics. He knows that there's additional scouts from Yo as well. He did just kill that monk. But Hera is just looking for that big boom and the late game comp of the Bohemians, which I don't think there's a single civ that can stop it easily. So it's a risk, but maybe a risk worth taking. Oh, yeah, we did have a kill there. Big stuff.
Oh, wow. Big. Huge.
Big.
You should name that scout Troy.
Troy. Dude, I swear, people think it's so funny. And I wonder how much it happens now. I don't think, because there's ranked, I don't think there's a lot of people who will host like 1v1 on unique maps. Because the fact that you can't get elo kind of removes people's like desire to cheese to get wins, I think. I had great memories. Oh, I also have memories of this one guy who would always play Explored Yucatan and steal all my sheep. And it would always be
that
fast
guy was a
speed.
menace, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
I played up against him. I played up against him once. I didn't hate it because it was fast speed. I loved fast speed.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But he was dude, he was a menace.
Yeah, so guys, if you want to know where all these legends came from for like video ideas, it's because there was like maybe 500 to 700 players online. And if you were there, you bump into them. You'd see their lobbies every day. Like, what was the name of the 1v1 Migra guy? Online, all day. 1v1 migration only. Rui Lopez?
It was Rui Lopez. Oh my god,
Yep.
dude. Oh my god. Yo, watching Bullet play Rui Lopez, hilarious. Hilarious.
Yep. It's fun. It's fun to think back to that stuff, man. It's why we're here, you know? There's so many unique players.
There was a Crater Lake guy. I can't remember who that was.
Harry Davis, bro. Harry Davis.
Yeah. Smarthy versus Harry Davis, one of the matches of the century.
Matches of the century. And that's the only living recorded game of Harry Davis playing. There's no other ways to get those wrecks. Yo still never found the relic in the right corner. It's still there. So he won't have 5. And he's going to lose his monk in the middle now. And his Hera's on the way to him.
Does he?
He does.
Okay.
But yeah, Hera's... I like it if it works, and if it doesn't work here, actually, because he is basically building up towards the timing, and if he were to distract himself by trying to get the relics, there's no guarantees that he could even get there, and the Bengalis are just straight up better at that. So Hera's going to go out for the kill here, and he goes Pikeman.
Yo is opening Skirm or Elephant Archer? What is Yo opening here?
Maybe both. But I mean,
the timing's going to be off. He can't delay this castle.
Yeah, and this is what Hera's banking on. Because again, when you get the relics, when you add the scouts, you delay certain things. And yes, the Vil count will be good for Yo. And yes, the long term with the relics could be fantastic. But that is a perfect castle from Hera to pressure. Already has a Treb on the way from his castle at home. And this is going to be tough for Yo, dude.
I think this is honestly a game where you already start making that monastery at the back and bringing the relics back there.
Yeah. Also, the fact that he built so many houses ahead of time on that right side, far away from this push, is actually a pretty big thing here. Because it's very easy to lose... I guess he's got a lot of houses on the left, too. But you could lose pop space fast against a push like this. So here we go. Great timing from Hera. Relics are a long-term thing, guys. And they take investment. Yo made a lot of monks to get those relics. He only has 4 of them. And as you said, the monastery's on the front. He has to get upgrades, and it is going to be Elephant Archers. But Elephant Archers require a lot of food eco. If your TCs are being trebbed down, it could be really tough to get all the upgrades.
Yo's also trying to go for Trebs from that castle, and now he needs to start repairing it. But 2 bomber cannons coming out, 2 Trebs. That castle is going to require a lot of stone and a lot of villagers to keep alive.
Also, Yo's golds and stones forward there. So he can move to other ones. They are in pretty good positions. But...
just snag the relic, by the way.
Does he notice that? Ah, okay. Well, that might be the only relic he has pretty soon. He should build that monastery pretty far away from his base.
Yep.
Hera's not going for skirms. He's going full Halb here. So Halb, bombard cannons. Some people would mix in the skirms. The Elephant Archers might get to a number where the Halbs get killed off, but Halbs also have bonus damage versus the Elephant Archers if they get in close.
It's going to be tough for them to get in close. The thing I like about the Elephant Archers here against Bohemians is, like, there's the monastery from Yo, so he's going to think about grabbing those relics. He's very fortunate they ejected on that side, actually. That's crazy.
True.
That all 4 of them went over there. The thing about bomber cannons against Elephant Archers is they don't really get the splash damage against anything but the single unit that they fight at, or that they fire at. So it's really, really tough to, justify Hufnitsa against them. As you can see, the bombard cannons here not getting extended splash damage on that big group.
But Hera's eco, this isn't all in necessarily, right? Like, he's got a crazy economy, so making a switch is more than fine. And there's no way Yo's pushing him because Yo doesn't have... He can't go Trebs because of the presence of Hera's bombard cannon. So you see the ranges coming up for Hera. All the worry about those golds being exposed for him are kind of gone now because he's got the map control. And it will be skirmishers. It'll just take a little bit.
Yo is going for a castle way out on the right side, or in the south of the map, to secure that gold.
That's such a
And the
Yo
woodlands,
castle.
I suppose.
That's such a Yo
it
castle.
is.
He's just like, I'm fine, whatever. But it's a necessary castle because Hera, you can't give Hera that gold, while also Hera has the front of your base. So, also, remember back to I talked about the houses. Yo is actually housed now because of all the houses on the left side getting taken out. So he needs a few more.
Yep. What he should do with these relics as well, he's probably shift-click the monk to bring in the relics, but you should bring him back like 10 tiles, drop it, and then go get another one.
That's too many clicks, dude. Too many clicks. I agree. It's a good move, but too many clicks. You know what Hera needs? He needs a wall on the left. Like, that's an easy wall. Hera's not going to be raided right now, but if this game goes on, Yo has an outpost there. And Yo, dude, the outpost villager's building a stable in the left corner for Yo.
Yep.
So he can actually raid that right now. That's huge. Hera has no clue.
See that,
or does he see
I mean,
it?
is he ever really going to look over there is the question.
Yeah,
right?
probably not. Hera wants to get these relics right now. And Yo needs to notice that and focus the monks down, and he does notice one of them. The other one's making the move. The elephants are dying to these halbs, and there's skirms now as well, and Hera's just got so much army. I just don't think the elephants are... I think they're too expensive. You can't be losing them like this. Look how many die there. The Bohemian halbs.
Halbs get a big bonus damage against elephants, in addition to the Bohemian bonus, like you said. And Yo, well, he's managed to clear up some of those. Hera down to 180 pop now. Only 12 halbs. Only 12 elephant archers for Yo.
The units are just
and
so
Hera
expensive.
Hera is doing the thing with the relics where he drops them off a little bit further away.
Nice. Smart. Also, I wouldn't be opposed to Hera just putting the monastery close to the castle, because he's pretty much built up his game plan to never lose this position now. The raids from Yo on the left will not do much. Hera kind of corrects his mistake now, is walling up and has the castle there to protect. And there are the Trebs for Yo, but with what army? The skirmishers and the halbs and the cannons are here, and oh my goodness, is that horrible for Yo. He's gonna lose everything.
This is 2 Trebs immediately, and there go the other 2 with some good attack rounds there from Hera. The castle survives. Again, Yo is at 160 population. He's desperately trying to get these elephant archers out. And Hera just with trash units and siege. Completely comfortable.
The reality is, Bengalis just need time. They just need more time. They need more space to breathe. And Hera has not given him that time. And he also kind of benefits from the fact that Yo collected the relics and put them right here in the first place. I just don't see Yo being able to come back from this. Elephant archers might be strong, and he might have the unique techs and all that, but there's just too many skirms. There's too many halbs. The bombard cannons and Trebs are taking down all the buildings now. Just really smart recognition from Hera that you just don't need relics sometimes on Arena.
I think if you're playing this matchup as Bengalis, especially against Hera, I think you need to be the one that's going for the forward castle and a little bit sooner to imp.
Yeah. Yeah, or hold map control, right? How critical was the forward castle? It was everything. And Hera, I guess he made pikemen. But if Yo made a lot of Ratha with Bodkin and had some monks in the middle, maybe Hera's first castle doesn't go up there. But ever since that first castle's gone up, the rest has kind of been history here. And that's going to be more TCs down for Yo. He's going to hold for a little while here, but he's not coming back from this one.
I mean, at least he spots the castle in the south from Hera, so he's going to tread that right away. But
yeah,
still,
true.
This is still a pretty brutal push. Lots of trash here from Hera. Wagenberg tactics on the way for the extra speed for his gunpowder units. He is clearing up the skirms finally, and Yost does still have 134 villagers, so he's still got the Vill lead. As the elephant archer number is now up to 20.
Yeah, I mean, if you can...
Can he push this back?
If you can match the skirm numbers with elephants, the elephants will win that fight over time. It's just the skirms are so much cheaper. I'm surprised that Yo is 52 on food. I thought he would be at like 20 right now. So Yo's done a really good job to still have some food eco. But he's not going to have the ability to add a lot more vills.
The south for Hera goes down immediately.
Yeah, Hera does lose the castle, true. Maybe we're seeing now why Bengalis are picked too, right? Like, this is why Hera needs to kill fast. Population efficiency of these elephants is pretty brutal. But I think it's still... I'm just not seeing a Q for Yo. And I'm seeing a massive unit Q from Hera. And now we have Hoofnitsa on the way. So the cannons will be even stronger. I don't think
Hoofnitsa makes that big of a difference here.
Well, it makes a difference. I think, if anything, it just speaks to the position Hera's in, that he's able to get it.
Did he misclick 5 militia, or is he making a switch into
champion? No, that's a misclick. That's a hockey
militia,
misclick.
Yeah.
Actually, if he's like me, I don't know. Not important. GG. Hera pushed right through the heart of Yo's economy. Look at the amount of units. Yo only had 67 elephant archers. It's probably even more expensive, though, than 151 halbs and 81 skirms. And, yeah, you just wonder if Yo's going to regret not trying to hold the middle with something. Because what do you think's going to happen? If it's full boom, obviously Hera's going to come fast. So maybe something... Maybe some Ratha in the middle to hold that could have prevented that and given him a bit more time to cook with his eco. But I just think Hera played it correctly. I think Bohemian's maybe the one civ where you could just straight up skip the relics and still maybe smash every other civ in the game. They're so good if you play them like that.
I'm just thinking, like, is there an opportunity to go for a castle age push with Bengalis with like armored elephants? And like some range unit behind?
Probably not, but yeah. I don't hate 5 to 8 Ratha and a siege workshop in the middle anyways. Just like literally you need Hera's first castle, or I guess his second, his new castle, to be
at home.
At home, yeah. Yeah, like make Hera fight for that position. Now, Hera did add pikes, and he did have a monk or two, so like maybe Hera can force that back anyways. He did prep for that, but... Yeah, it's tough to say. I play against the Bohemians a lot, and I'm guessing this was maybe Hera's #1 pick on the draft because they're just so good on these maps. Res collected is actually pretty much even. Yo actually collected more, but just units are way too expensive there.
Every time I see elephant archers, at least it feels this way to me because I can't remember the last time I saw someone win with elephant archers. It feels like the other player just goes skirm halb and just slowly whittles them down. Because the elephant archer player is always on the back foot. That's the problem. Always on the back foot.
The best... That's why I think a lot of people are a little too short-sighted with elephant archers. You have good eco. Play into something else. Hold the map for a little bit longer. And, dude, if you can get to 40 elephant archers, skirms can't beat it. And bomber cannons can't beat it.
It's really tough, though, because I've seen that as well. Like, players having Ratha, they have a big Ratha mass, and then they try and switch into the elephant archer. They have a good position, and it's just such a brutal switch.
Yeah.
So many resources needed for it. They fall behind in production, and they lose. It's kind of difficult, right? It's such a difficult balance with that unit.
Yeah, I agree. And I just think at the end of the day, Hera recognized the strength of elephant archers all came down to time, and he didn't give it that time. And he continued on with the push. So Northern Isles, game 4, Yo's second civ pick here, and he just lost with his first civ pick. So this is a must-win for him in this best-of-7 final. Hera picks a civ that is insanely good on hybrid maps, great with churning out the vills, and with combining navy. But this map isn't necessarily hybrid. I would say this is more of a water map with some hybrid aspects. If you don't have good navy long-term here, you kind of have some problems, and Persians do not get bracer for their galleons. If they even get galleons.
I hate Hera's map position right now. This sucks. Dude.
Oh, true.
He's up against the left side. Look at all of the golden stone is like 75% of his island is just not even near his TC.
Yeah, true.
He's on the side. Yo is more in the middle. And if Yo gets like fortified churches and a monk siege push or something set up there, like, oh my goodness.
Hera had a game in one of the online Red Bulls. I don't remember which. It may have been like Red Bull 2. He was against Yo, I believe. And Yo was Koreans with a map like this. And he...
Where's Yo going with this villager? Is he going to Hera's side?
Is he going to lame the boar? Did he see the boar with his transport?
Oh my God. I've
never seen this. I've never seen this
in my life.
That's so smart. And Hera's not going to expect this because it's never happened to him before. So he transports over, and unless Hera does something, that boar's going to die.
Boar moving? He's not even going to look over here. He's busy pushing the ibex.
Yep.
He doesn't know.
No, you're not going to think to look for it because it's never happened before. This is just the first time. And there's nothing Hera can really do about it now. It's too late. By the time he goes over there, it's going to be a carcass. And there goes Hera's transport. Does he notice?
He's going to notice now.
Dude, that's so sick.
I've never seen that.
That's so sick from Yo. Wow. So he can just sail right back home. He can actually use that villager to dock as well if he really wants to.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Obviously, you start with the transport. You wouldn't see that on any other type of map. And he also will build the house there. Dude, if he gets back in that transport ship and sails away, Hera is going to be paranoid that villager is lurking on his island.
Yeah.
Like, that house being there is actually a really big deal if Yo can escape now.
Typical Hera fashion, though, he's like, okay, you did that. I don't care. I'm just going to keep pushing in the ibex. I'm not even going to look for you over there. He should have the transport over there to track the villager, though. Yo loaded up, and Yo is delayed sending the villager home, but still.
And there goes the transport, sailing on by. So see you later. And Doc is on the back for Yo. And now I think maybe Hera notices. And now he looks and realizes what happened. I mean, you can walk out there. You can collect a lot of food from that. But if you have the ibex and your Persians, you probably can recover if you just push in the ibex. Yep. But back to, like, the normal conversation. Persian late game's not amazing with Navy, and Armenians is one of the best. So Hera's going to need to end this game before late Imperial Age. I do wonder, though, if Hera could do the same thing that Yo did against Nikov. When you have Persian docks, what about transporting and building your dock kind of on the front so you could pressure the galley player with fires?
Honestly, I think it's a little bit less good against Armenians. Because, number one, Armenians aren't going to wait till Castle Age, presumably, to start massing up their galleys. Yep. And they have the double arrows, which is much better against fires than it is against, like, a galley-on-galley war.
Yep, I like it. I think it punishes a fast castle, and we saw it, but against feudal play, it could be kind of tough to justify.
And I think Yo is going to go for the feudal play, unless he's just getting loom because he's housed. He might just be getting loom because he's housed.
Well, I would say the faster you start to prioritize some water in this matchup, maybe the better as Armenians. So I would say going 2 docks is fine. And if Hera is not going for water, great, you kill his fish. And if you win water, then you can add fish. So it's a really good way to gain an eco lead here. So that's what it feels like for Yo.
Is taking some of the meat from that boar. Could kill that house really easily if he wants to spend a minute doing it.
If Hera's taking the meat from the boar, I think this means he's trying a fast castle build. Or at least...
Yep.
Like
adaptive fast castle, I think. Yep.
Fast castle against Armenians? I mean, in Hera's mind, he has no clue where Yo is docked. But from what I can see, where Yo's docking, it's going to be super easy for Yo to access Hera's fish.
Like, how does Hera have no clue where Yo... What is he doing with the transport ship? Is he still paranoid about Yo being on his island?
I think he might be. That could explain why his transport should not really be in the back of his own base right now.
No, you should always know where your opponents are docking on this map. You have that unit from the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
You should 100% know where they're docking. It's stunning to me that Hera does not know where Yo's docks are.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's not playing water right now, so maybe it doesn't really matter. Because it's like you're committed to your strategy regardless. And Yo should go 2 galleys. And I could tell you what someone like maybe Leary would do here. You go 2 galleys, maybe you add a fire or 2. I really like that. But then you just fish boom. So it's all about recognition of what Hera's going to do based on what you've seen. He saw a lot of fish in the back. Hera's still not feudal, and Persians could easily be so. So I think this should tell Yo this is a fast castle for Hera and not to be too aggressive and just take advantage of the fish boom.
Credit to Hera for pushing those extra Ibex all the way from over there. His Fudikyo has been good, despite the fact he lost the boar, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his resources are really nice. He adapted it perfectly. Mm-hmm. And Yo's like, what are you doing here, pal? Also really important that Hera doesn't lose his scout right now. Yeah, I get wanting to make galleys if you want to win water. If your opponent's going fast castle...
You make like 4 galleys, I think.
Yeah, I would even say, and I could be very wrong on this, but as both scouts die, well played to both. I like the fires too, because the fires will hold better against Castle Age fires, and then they also take down the docks way faster.
Yeah, but they're so slow to snipe the fish. That's the thing.
Well, yeah.
So you go for the galleys first, and then you mix in the fires later. Like, if this was 2 fires over here, those fishing ships would survive. Hera would just run them away, but the galleys just snipe them down.
Yeah, it's just me being really particular. I'm saying 2 galleys and then 2 fires. So I'm getting annoyed by 2 freaking galleys, which is the most me thing ever. It's not a big deal.
But like with Armenians, I think it's more justifiable with the extra arrows.
Yeah. Yeah, you could be right. I mean, and Hera might never lose his docks because he's playing as the Persians, and his plan seems to be to come back on water. Yo's transport ship
might lose the transport.
Just missing this.
Hera might lose the transport. I think Yo's gonna try and block this with his own.
Yeah, he is. And let's see who can click faster.
And if he kills that, that's actually huge value.
It's also huge value if he can just take Yo away from this area. He doesn't want Yo to know that he's trying to come back onto water. Dude, Yo is right next to this, and now he sees
There it is.
Yep.
Okay, so Yo needs to try and get up to Castle Age. He hasn't added fish behind this.
Hera's just going to go water and boom. It's not going to be anything crazy, really.
It's a stable from Yo.
Yeah.
Transport some knights over. I mean, he knows Hera's on the opposite side of the island from presumably all the resources. Doesn't have great scouting, but he can't see the golden stones over there. So you know 90% of the resources from Hera are on that right side of the island.
Dude, there was a time where the second that the opponent would lose their scout, Mr. Yo would send a villager forward. And this feels like a great opportunity for it. Now, he also lost his scout, but he knows Hera's trying to come back on water. He's going to see another dock now. I want to see that transport be used. And from what we've seen, there's so much open space to Hera's Island that Yo could go forward on with the Siege Workshop.
Yeah.
Like, that's a crazy position.
Fortified churches.
Yep.
Yep.
Yo's just going to fall back now. He's bracing himself, which is the right play. How big a deal is it, though, that Hera does not... Oh, no. Never mind. He does actually know where Yo is docked now. So he did find that. And so with War Galley on the way, he should know to go right there to pressure the fish. And there he goes.
Crazy the lack of urgency from Hera, too. Just casually adding a TC with 1 bill.
Yeah, I think Persians is just... I think it could always be a top 2 pick for Hera in every tournament, and I would be okay with it because he just uses...
Could be a good demo from Yo.
He uses those bonuses so perfectly. Not a very good demo, actually, for Yo. And Hera's got one coming. Man, this is so many fires all of a sudden. Hera's got 9 fires. Demo
from Yo, that's a good one.
Pretty good, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yo's adding scouts, by the way. And he's got a villager. I think they're going to hop into that transport ship, which is still in the front. Yo must be worried on water. He doesn't have fletching, so his galleys aren't very strong here. And
They're
the
doing
demo...
the same amount of damage, though.
Oh, the demo from Hera was crazy.
They're doing the same amount of damage as galleys with fletching, because most of it is just bonus damage, and they get the extra arrow.
Both players fishing, but Hera's fishing's kind of free behind this, and the second TC's on the way. The demos for Yo are landing. But he's going to lose some fish in the process here, maybe.
He's holding, dude.
Pretty close.
He's holding.
It's like he's holding. Holding. I don't know if he's holding. He doesn't have War Galley yet, and there's more fires coming in from Hera. Damn. a lot of pressure from Hera.
Yep. Where are the scouts from Yo? They're in the transport ship and a villager. So he's on the way over there. He might gift Hera a free relic if he builds his first fortified church.
Dude,
on
I was
that
just
side.
gonna say, what do you do here? I feel like we always get annoyed when players
I think it's
do
fine.
it, but
I think it's fine.
your whole game plan is to hold this area forever anyways, so you don't want to build a second monastery at home just for that relic.
I also wouldn't mind the next building from Yo to be a forward dock on Hera's area.
Well, he might do it
If
now
he
because he
gets the War
sees
Galley
Hera's
upgrade.
I think if he sees Hera's current dock, which he's going to deny, geez, those units were bumping into each other. That should actually give him the idea, because that's clear that Hera's going to back Fishboom. So that's a really good call. Hera
Gotta
probably
get the War Galley upgrade if you're gonna do that, though.
Yeah.
Or actually, he still has the 3 galleys alive, so he might just come in from the back and snipe all the fish anyway.
That's true. Hera will take down all the docks, and the second those docks are down, he's going to add fish here. So it's 2 town centers for him with Persians, but also all those docks and lots of healthy fish on the backside. So his food eco should be amazing. And he's just had to wall his entire base. There is a villager on the outside of the walls here. So that should be another Vil pick here for Yo. And there's the Siege Workshop now for Yo. And he already has 1 relic. Warrior Priest is going to say thank you very much and get the second one. And he'll have 3 relics here by the time he's finished.
This is a great position for Yo, considering the island starting spot for Hera.
Yep.
So far away from all these, definitely unfortunate for him. But he does have a Persian TC, and we saw how much he can hold with that Persian TC yesterday against Lyra in that Kawasan game, dude. If he was any other civ, he would have died.
The thing is,
the Persian
guys,
TC just stokes so much damage from these pushes.
and remember, this is a setup for water later on. This is not about winning the game now. You can win the game now, but the deeper into this game these civs go, the better it is for Armenians because of their
galleys.
navy. So, yeah, that must be crazy frustrating for Hera. Losing fish
Very
when you have
frustrating.
basically 1 water convincingly is not what you want, and he's just
And
been so
he probably-
distracted.
He probably saw those galleys earlier and how weak they were and might have just forgotten about them, right? Because they were in the midst of all that shenanigans at the back of Yo's fishing eco. Maybe he thought those went down to some of the fires when he wasn't paying attention.
Kind of funny is Hera's going to shift a lot of his fish towards the front. Yo already has a dock on the front getting War Galley, so he will try and go back and forth.
Classic Mr. Yo, right?
And Mr. Yo
Backs on
dropping
one side,
3 TC.
and
Yo
pushes
has
on the other.
Yo has Bowsaw, Hera on Bidaxe, Yo has Horse Collar, Hera no Horse Collar, and Hera out of space here. This is a very difficult position. I know Hera's got a crazy Vil count, but he's in an uncomfortable position to fight out of right now. He needs light
He's
cap.
gonna add a second stable behind though, and he started with the scout production, so he's thinking about light cap for sure. Definitely needs these fish to stay alive, but here comes Mr. Yo with the fires on the front side.
And I think Hera just hard committed, and it makes sense. Just hard commits. He's going to try a wall here. And he wants to trap the light cab. They're going to pull back. But Hera, your fish are going down on the front. That's 3 fishing ships down to 1 fire galley in another position that Hera has to look at. Other than his base right now.
And now he has to worry about monks converting his fires too, as Yo just bypasses that other fire. He's looking for the fish. Redemption is in now for Mr. Yo. He begins to wall this area off. I think stone walls around these resources wouldn't be terrible either if you had stone.
Look how fast
Just lane
fishing
them a
ships
little
go
bit.
down to Castle Age fires. That's 3 more fish going down.
That's why
fine.
you get the War Galley upgrade if you're trying to
Yep.
take out a fish boom from your opponent. You can't do it with just regular fire galleys.
You notice how Hera, who's always so quick to the town centers, is still on 2? He just has no space, dude. Like, he might want to transport and TC drop Yo, honestly. Because he can do that. He can move over this channel and then do something over there. He needs a TC spot. Yo's...
He might miss these 2 fires coming in from Yo as well. Hera's trying to... Look at this. Look at his navy trying to protect this fish boom, and Yo's just going to go, okay.
Dude, imagine if
Bye-bye.
Yo snipes the transport. Imagine if Yo actually snipes the transport. Him seeing that
Snipe it.
should
Snipe
tell
it.
him something. Does he see the Vills as well? He sees the
does.
Vill. Yo's going to outpost there. Yo's already outposting. He's like, what are you doing here? It feels like a castle drop, but it's not.
Too.
He doesn't have the stone for a castle.
I think Hera might be coming to the middle even. He's going to go for a siege workshop, and that might push Hera over towards the middle.
Hera's
There's
actually
still a
going to
fire there
TC.
as well.
He's actually going to town center here. I'm not even kidding.
There it is. Oh my god, dude. And that's super. With any other civ, you're like, what? But with Persians, you're like, man, that sucks. This like, it's gonna take me 5 business days to take out this CC.
Also, look at Hera. He's coming to engage against Yo, and Yo has made these walls so intelligently in this choke point. So it's really tough for Hera to engage, and there will be a big demo coming from Yo as well. Now, that's a lot of fires from Hera. That is like way too many fires for one demo to deal with.
Oh, it's gonna be a big demo though. Boom!
Damn.
So much damage.
Yo, 5 relics, Dave. And now Hera's TC is just shooting the siege workshop, and the siege is just going to attack this TC. I mean, this is going splendidly for Yo. Hera will not be able to freely take this stone and gold. And Yo still thinking about a castle himself, and he can just castle this TC at some point.
I mean, Hera is producing everywhere, though, and there's another forward dock there for Hera, this time on Yo's island. He's kind of trying to get villagers away from the forward TC. He's also making a siege workshop and a stable, but Yo controlling a lot of this.
Yeah, Yo needs that castle now. That's sneaky stable from Hera's really smart, because just one light cav can snipe the siege. But if Yo just castles this just to push Hera off his island, honestly, I think he'll be very happy.
Dude, I think if he can manage it, a castle in the middle would be better. And you get the dock set up underneath your castle in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I say defending here, it's like the more you defend with 5 relics in this matchup, the better it is. I guess defending the middle obviously adds some strength as well. But Hera's here. Like, you don't want this to get worse. Yo is imping. He has the stone. Still got sneak docks everywhere. And he's going to castle... Woo!
The corner.
The corner.
Okay.
Which fires can range. And now there's light cav here. So Hera's got a chance to actually deny this. The warrior priest might not be enough. There's villagers too. There's the fires coming in. The mangonel... Oh, it kills a lot of Hera's
Nice mangonel shot. That's a real good mangonel shot. The warrior priests are still there. And the fires can't range half of the spots for these villagers here. I think this castle will go up. It will go up. Yo is sending more. He's on the way to him. He's also TCing Hera's Island.
Okay, but this is the definition of trying to be too cute. I think... Well, it's fine. It's fine. He's done crazy amounts of damage.
That gives you crazy control on the water, too.
Yeah, which you need.
Because it's in that choke point on the side. And he's going to go for docks underneath. Yep.
Yeah, which you need. Absolutely. Hera's Siege Workshop actually deleted there? Was that intentional? Was his unit trapped? I think he might have ejected his mangonel in between the trees there. Yeah, that's what happened, I'm sure. So he deletes his forward Siege Workshop to get the mangonel out, which is obviously horrible.
I mean, it's also horrible that he's lost all of the villagers, basically, that he sent forward there. Like, look at the eco KD right now. This does not seem like a game where Yo has killed 43 eco units.
Yeah, well, he's also
apparently he has.
He's also now spawning villagers into their death by creating vills. Yeah, it's just Mr. Yo's strategy's been perfect. Let's be real. I mean, it's been a really unfortunate map generation for Hera to deal with.
Yeah.
The map has made it so much worse, but Yo has taken full advantage of it. And now I would say you just go Galleon with the unique tech, and Hera will have a very difficult time.
And you take control of the middle.
Yep.
And Hera sees Imperial Age. She's like, I'm out, dude. This has been enough. Very frustrating map for Hera, but like we kept saying, the positioning for Yo was fantastic, right? The fact he even snuck away with those 3 galleys early was huge. The fact he lamed the boar from Hera was huge. He got the walls up in the Siege Workshop and all the relics in. Massive. And then he spotted the transport ship from Hera, went for the Siege Workshop immediately, and was able to shut down all of this forward pressure from Hera.
It was even more of a masterpiece than the game he played against Nikov in the semifinal on this map. That was crazy. Like, fully utilizing the aspects of the map. You start with the transport ship. There's land and there's water. And as for Hera, I mean, the only thing I can say is just maybe he needed like an outpost. Maybe him losing his scout was a problem.
I think he played pretty well, to be honest, dude.
Yeah,
I think Hera, with the way he spawned on that map, I don't think he made a lot of mistakes. It was just Yo played it perfectly.
Agreed. And honestly, that's kind of been the theme. After most of these games, it's like the winner, you're just looking at it and saying, they just played perfect. So 2-2. That's a big one for Yo because that was also one of his top picks. So losing there would have been brutal for his plan. As for Hera, he still has his civs that he prioritized most ready. So he has Mongols and he has Burgundians. We're about to see Mr. Yo play Arena, which he notoriously does not like. And last time he tried Teutons and he tried lots of monks. And I think Hera...
No. He used to not like it. He's fine with it now for the last 2 years.
Does he actually like it, though? He says in interviews he doesn't like it. He's good on it. I don't think he likes it.
All right. I mean, he's picking it a lot for a guy who doesn't like it.
Yeah. Well, Hera picked it in this case.
Chicken Arabia. Here we go. Okay, this setup, Yo can't really wall off. The chickens yesterday were hilarious, dude. He tried 8 times to push in one chicken with the walls. And he's going forward with the villas. He's going to try and do it again.
Yo I need to message him. So if you're going to chicken funnel, diagonal gate through the chickens.
Diagonal. Yep.
Or diagonal walls, fine too. So
this might be fine for the diagonal gate. Yeah, this one might work.
This will work
better than yesterday. Was so hilarious to me.
Yeah, especially the final chicken because he just couldn't get it. Now, we'll see. I will say that the chicken generation does hurt the Burgundians because they're not able to just push in the deer to get the eco upgrades quite as quickly. But question for you, do you think the devs are going to change something about this chicken funnel thing?
I don't think it's that broken. I think you really have to work for it. It's fine. I have no problem with it whatsoever.
I think on Arena, it kind of falls into the category of you have to do it, which is why I don't like it. But for Arabia, I think it's great.
Know.
I think it's great.
Bro, I look at this. I'm not sure how much time or resources you're saving with this. Like, you're spending a lot of wood to build these gates. You have the villager out there. Like the time spent sending the villager out there, I'd love to see a direct comparison.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We have this exact same map loaded up. One player goes and like long distance takes the chickens, and one player sets up the whole gate scenario, or one player does the mill thing. I'd love to see the comparison.
Well, I love the pros and cons in Arabia, dude. Watching people do this chicken funnel on Arabia is hilarious because everything else falls apart. They don't find their sheep. They don't take their boars on time. They don't scout their opponent. They're missing wood for stuff. So, like, there's definitely a downside there. But here, it's probably fast castle. So, Yo's just going to try and push these chickens. And so, they're not supposed to be pushable like deer. But you can push them a little bit. And basically, you can glitch them out to the other side of the wall. And then they try and get over there. And then they just get funneled in. But I would... One thing we could probably both agree on is that the devs are pissed this is happening. Because they created an animal. They created an animal that can't be pushed.
They probably think it's pretty funny. I think they probably think it's pretty funny.
All right.
Like, this is like, there's people that would argue that like this isn't the way it's meant to be or whatever, but this is just Age of Empires, dude.
There's a lot of things.
Introduce a new mechanic, and then we instantly cheese it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful part of the game. Like that's what happens.
It's like house.
That's like game.
It's like quick walling and house walling and all these things. Like, it's not. There's a lot of things we do where the game wasn't necessarily intended.
Yeah.
We have a pause on. We're back. Okay. Wait.
I think there was some lag or something there, right?
Well, so we talked about the chickens, but we didn't talk about the relics. And so if they're calling Rees for relics, there's 3 relics super close to Hera's base and none close to Yo's.
Oh yeah. This is horrible, especially with Burgundians for Hera.
Yeah, but like, if that's the case, it'd be great if these Rees were called like right away. But I guess maybe the players couldn't get notified.
And maybe the players, maybe the players
might not
aren't
be
answering.
hearing it.
We know how that works. I'll be right back. Give me a couple minutes.
All good, all good, all good. So I'm going to assume that that's the case. They'll probably say why they call the but it might be due to the Relic generations. So it's a bit tricky, guys, because like these, you can't call Rees in ranked, but these are the ranked versions of the map. And so I think for them, they were like, okay, let's play it safe with this tournament. We got 10K from Microsoft. We're not going to do map packs or any of that crazy stuff, which can have bugs. We're just going to use the base versions of the maps. What you're finding now is some of these base versions of the maps that are in the game sometimes have some generations, which can actually produce some problems in tournaments. So I'm going to assume... Yeah, I'm going to assume that's why they're restoring. I have not actually heard. I'll let you know when they say something, if they say something. So, how do people find out about this chicken funnel? Oh, it took like 20 seconds. Maybe like 2 days. I made a video on it called The Chicken Problem. But some players, they exist to just try and break things. And the second a new mechanic or a new unit is added and they want it to be balanced and they want it to work a certain way, they say, how can we break it? Or how could we do something differently? And Red Phosphor is to credit for the chicken funnel thing. He's the one who started that, and some players do it, some players don't. Hera didn't do it in this case, but we might not get chickens this time. If they're restarting, it might not actually be chickens. So it's actually better for Hera. Hera's really hoping it's deer now, because I think the Burgundians have a much better build without the chickens. So we'll see.
It's chickens.
Is it chickens? Nice.
Much better relics. Yeah, it's chickens.
All right, I'm loading in.
Yo's setting it up, but they're not diagonal gates, bro.
Do you think Yo... I guess he was diagonal gates last time because of the positioning of the chickens. So let's see how the chickens do.
One of them already went in. Instantly better than his effort yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, Hera could also chicken funnel, but that means that there's that one villager building stuff, and you really need to have all your eco working to get double bit X fast. So I think Burgundians would probably be better off just building the mill. But let's see if he can push in the chickens with the square, or what do we call it? The line, the straight line. Looks like...
Yeah, it's working.
It's working.
Yeah. This one is like trying to leave off the edge of the map. This guy's going crazy. Fly!
Oh, that guy. I see him. They are pretty cute, these chickens. I gotta say. Well, Yo refuses to build the mill. Now, as we watch these chickens get pushed or not pushed in, because some of these chickens are working as they were intended.
This guy's never going to stop. This guy's never going to stop until you delete that gate.
There's a chance if you delete the gate, it will go underneath the TC, but it's a risk. But like, Yo went monks, like all in monks last time, and tried to get a forward castle down. Can you play monks again when the Burgundians have the cheap light cab upgrade? I don't think so. So I wonder if Yo considers a tower rush, or just something other than what he did last time.
I mean, if he does, we'll know right away, because he'll be up way sooner.
Yeah,
you need the previous one, right?
2 on wood usually for that. So we'll see if he builds a lumber camp with 2 vills. I see 2 vills going there. You could argue a tower rush is a little bit better on the chicken version too, because there's chickens in the middle as well, which you can take after the tower rush. But Hera just about to eat his chickens as the devs intended.
Is this guy not going to stop even after the gate is destroyed? That's hilarious. He's still going, bro.
There's always one chicken in the group who has a little bit more energy than the others. So, all right. I mean, Yo just got enough to go up to feudal age, I suppose. And he's going to need a second building. The mining camp's on the way, and it's on stone. So this is something that a lot of the players on Yo's team has done over the years. Like Vivi's done this a lot. Oh God, do you remember? I think it was Draken versus Vivi, Teutons versus Turks. You were casting it. It was a Teutons tower rush versus Turks, and the Turk player was like completely collapsed. And they didn't have gold in the front of their base.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I remember.
That was painful.
Oh, what tournament was that? Oh god!
I think it
And
was
Draken
Valhalla.
He was ahead in the set, and then he loses like in the most ridiculous fashion. And I think he didn't have like a lumber camp or something. He had 0 on wood. He bought the wood for a siege workshop, but he forgot that he also needed to spend wood on siege.
Yeah.
And he had 0 on wood. It was horrible, dude. It was awful.
And the chicken's dead now, by the way. That's very sad. But also that was the series where he lost his king as well. It was an epic collapse, unfortunately.
That one, yeah. Dude, that Draken was looking so good until he wasn't. And then he was dead.
Yo is going the wrong way, dude. Off to tower rush the opponent, and he has no clue where Hera actually is.
This is the problem with the chickens, dude. He spent so much time with his scout over there. Okay, instantly takes a 90-degree turn. He's going over towards Hera's base now, and Hera's going to miss him.
This is such a good call from Hera, by the way. So if you have the deer, the fast castle approach feels super smooth, and you can play it normally. But if you don't have the deer and you have the chickens...
Oh my god, Yo still doesn't know, bro.
Oh my god.
He still doesn't know. Yo?
He sees a stone, he's looking. Anyways, what I wanted to get to is I think going Feudal Age fast is really good to greet it out with the eco upgrades. And then you can actually get a response in here. So let's see... I can tell you what a lot of the experienced arena players would say to this. Hera can snag Loom, and he could come out here and he could just like boop down a stone piece real quick. But maybe that's dangerous against the Teutons. There goes Yo trying to break through the wall now.
It's extremely dangerous now with the tower up. There's no booping that's going to happen here. And Hera still doesn't have Loom too, right? So
yeah, you'd have to snag that. Now he does have a gold on the back. His stone's pretty far forward. And Yo's going to take full map control. Keep an eye on the res collected. The Tower Rush player has 8 villagers that are not working. But all of his eco at home is safe. And Hera's obviously is not. But this is a strategy that can work if it overwhelms the opponent. And if it gets a really strong position. And Yo sees the stone, walks right in. And we'll drop a tower. Hera built 2 farms there. Or started to. He might want to delete those now.
I think he canceled those because he saw the way this tower was going. So he canceled the villagers building them. He can get some wood back. For those, he's also just long distance taking that stone. So he can afford another tower. He's already gone for one on the right side. If these villagers bring back the stone, he'll have just enough for another one or to repair this tower over here.
The thing is, though, the Teuton player will just tower war. Like, they want you to engage in a tower war because they can out-tower you with more arrows. And also invest in defletching. So, I actually do not love trying to play tower defense here if you're Hera. It can help hold, but this could get kind of tricky for him.
Just trying to delay. Now he's going for the barracks back there. Like, what does Hera do against this? If Yo gets into the wood line, it's horrible.
Every time I've seen Burgundians dominate on Arena... it's anything but this. So win or lose for Yo, you're taking the Burgundians away from the type of game they typically want, which I think is perfect. Look how fast the tower just gets shot down. And now Hera's going to go for another tower, and Yo would just build another tower and shoot that down. So this is fine for Yo. This is exactly what he wants. The tower goes down instantly. So here we go. Yo will shoot that tower down. He'll see the other tower from Hera, and he says, let's just do that again.
Yep. And there's no way this tower is surviving from Hera. And when we're thinking about him getting more stone, that's also not happening. The scouts being made from Hera aren't going to get a whole lot of value. He can't really assault the 3 towers in the front with them. Maybe he could get some free hits against the tower behind, because Yo doesn't have murder holes until Castle Age, but... I mean, this wood line from Hera is the problem, right? You don't even bother with the farms to gold or anything. You just go after this wood line.
Yeah. Yep. You're just...
loop around behind.
And behind it, you've got cheap farms, and he can never counterattack with scouts. So, Yo is... he might be behind in res collected, but he's making some progress here, and Hera's going to go for the surprise tactic. This scout play either works really well, or it does not work at all here in most instances.
He gets the armor, too, which is huge.
Yeah, let's see. Yo's just going to drop another tower. Yep, just creeping in. Creeping in. This will be a long feudal age for Hera with all the scouts he's making. But I think you do have to really wait. Wait till you get like 6, 7. And then I think you need to send your vills and batter down the towers too. Like, this could get really messy.
Like the fact that Hera's making more houses at the back too. He realizes that's going to be an issue, right? You don't want to slow down your scout production at all. So a phenomenal eco here from Hera. Not a great eco from Yo at all. And now Hera suddenly kind of has to worry about his TC, maybe. If enough towers go up
thinking that.
from Yo.
Now, Yo sees the stable with the flag. His scout broke through, and he can see the stable with the flag. So he will not be
able to see the armor, too.
surprised. Yeah, true. He can click the scout and see the armor. And so Yo is just going to wall.
He's walling in this one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick. That's really, really good from him. He should wall in the other ones, too. Even though there's 3 of them there.
Yeah.
Gate. Perfect.
He's playing it super safe here. Also, he's now in range of some of these golds, which were supposedly good for Hera. So let's see what Hera does. Remember, Burgundians don't get bloodlines, so this like super extended feudal age scout war isn't as good for them. And we see a barracks now from Yo. After he destroys the house anyways, and the towers go up.
Spears? Yeah, he wants spears. He still doesn't like have Horse Scholar at home, but he's Teuton, so that doesn't matter as much. He finally did get the wood upgrade. Finally.
Hera could genuinely lose his TC. That's like 5 towers hitting his TC constantly.
Can you douche here if you're Yo?
I had the thought, but because of he built his farms there, probably not. But a TC drop here could be sick. But I guess if you're already making progress, you got to keep going.
This is going to get to a point where Hera needs to engage against this. The gate goes down just in time for Yo. Another palisade wall there. The scouts are trying to come in. Hera can't do anything about that. He can fire on the gate, and maybe the scouts can get through, but that tower is going to go up. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 farms maybe ranged by that.
Dude, Hera's about to try and go Castle Age. This would actually be the perfect time for the TC drop. Take that TC out. Hera will try and go up. He loses those farms. TC just needs to stay up. As for what Hera does in Castle, I mean, Siege could also be Light Cav. But Yo's could keep creeping in here, man, with another tower.
Let's keep creeping in, and every tower you make another wall like beside it or a gate so the scouts can't come in and harass. Harris is really struggling to find a time to engage with his scouts.
I mean, it's
Can't
so...
stop this tower. He's going for the defensive one.
It's such a crazy strat because I just keep looking at res collected and I'm thinking it's so good for Hera, but you look at your screen, you look anywhere else, and it's not good for him at all. And now Yo can just tower war again. It's the same thing. Hera just bought another tower to try and tower war Teutons. Yo's actually focusing the TC with the tower, though. He could be shooting that tower, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's out of range.
It's tough to tell.
I think he's out of range because he's building this next one by one tile. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. Like, how many farms? So Hera's got more res collected, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 farms worth of wood that he's invested that he can't use, right? Like,
and the scouts can't counterattack really because they just run into walls.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we keep going here. Hera's just going to be in the back of the map. Hera might be better off actually just leaving his base. Like, booming in the middle, away from the tower rush, makes more sense than anything.
Siege Workshop there from Hera. Yo is about to click up to Castle Age.
Yep. He'll be up. Great position for him. Hera can't boom that easily here. Spears come in now from Yo. Hera runs right into them. And he will get the Light Cav upgrade. And maybe Hera's wishing to take down some of these towers. Maybe he can Mangano one of them.
Bro, Bodkin Arrow, Guard Tower, and then Murder Holes for free with Teutons.
and Scouts? And Scouts? And Knights? Yo's building a stable in here now.
Yep, good luck, dude.
What
and another tower.
What in the world?
Yeah, like this is just getting
This is
just
this
too
is
much.
getting bad.
Yeah.
Hera's got a chance.
It's already
though.
been bad.
Hera's
It's
got a
getting
chance
worse.
though. Because Hera's got Mangonel on the way. Yo needs to finish this tower real fast.
That tower goes up just in time. Just in time. Just in time.
How much does he lose?
Yep.
He loses 2 Vils.
That's fine.
Yeah, and even just the threat of one single scout could make this a problem. And Hera's TC still slowly going down, by the way. You need 2 Mangonels to push back Feudal Age towers. That's the rule, I would say, people should live by. Man, what a great job from Yo to make life unbelievably difficult for Hera the last hour. Here we go. Yo needs to transfer towers here, I think. He's still got 2 of them. You need to get into that other tower. Yep.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's doing. And he's only 27 seconds away from being able to make Knights. And Knights just add a whole new level of pain for Hera. Although he does have the Monk here.
Yeah, he does. He does. The towers are going to go down fast. This is all right before Castle Age comes in. These villagers might not escape for Yo. Hera has a really big army. The spears come in. Knights will obviously be on the way. Those Vils might need to leave. The scout goes in for the Monk. Won't get the kill there. Hera actually keeps it up. And he's keeping his town center up. And now Yo's getting Bodkin Arrow, which makes the tower stronger, and they get more HP now. But it's not guard tower
And
yet.
the University is coming up too. University is coming up from Yo. The Knight is out. The Monk got 1 conversion, so it's out of juice, but
There's another
actually
one.
both of them.
He needs to run away or
converting,
delete
yep.
that, and he does.
And he deletes it. Guard tower is such an essential tech here, but he can't afford it right
Nope,
now.
He can't. Might need to use the
Great
market.
pushback from
There's
Hera.
the upgrade. 30
There's
seconds.
Guard tower.
He's got to transfer towers again, though, Dave. He's got to save those villagers. And there's a gate there. It kind of blocks him a little bit. Okay, he glides through. And Hera is about to find out that he can no longer push this back. Guard tower is a completely different story. It's a big, big jump in power and HP. And now the Knights come in from Yo. He'll go for the Monk. He deletes the Knights. He'll kill the
gets
Monk. And now guard tower's in. And look
And he
at
gets
how
the-
fast.
He gets the Mangonel too. He gets the Mangonel, bro.
Hera needs to leave his base. He's mentally in a prison, but he's not actually in a prison. He can just leave. Delete those walls and leave to the middle. Yo's no pressure there. I really think that's one of the best things you can do in this situation if you're Hera. 4 villagers in any of the other stones and golds could be so nice.
If Yo got 1 guard tower over there by the stone,
Yes.
that would lock Hera in.
Yeah, agreed.
If he could get it up.
Yo should honestly think about walling him in a little bit there. But it's tough when
Yep.
there's Lycav around.
It's really tough.
I think
Okay, here
Pikeman
come the
upgrade.
Mangonels from Yo. Still have the Monks here from Hera. It is against Teutons, so he will have resistance against that. So he's got a little bit of extra time,
Oof.
and Yo is trying to hard commit to the Mangonels. He's not getting them, dude. Great hold from Hera to keep those Mangonels alive, and he gets the Knight conversion as well. The TC will finally go down, so Hera has no town center here. 52 Vils for him, 49 Vils for Yo.
The
There's
reason
the monastery going up from Yo now.
The only reason Yo takes that fight is because he wants that he wanted that stable to stay up. But I would have loved to see him keep the spears alive at the very least. Having to make 5 or 6 more spears that could be pikemen defending right now is pretty brutal.
Dude, this is a crazy pushback from Hera.
Yeah, really impressive. And Yo needs a quick wall. Oh my god, he gets it! He actually gets
Disgusting.
it. But the tower needs to focus on the mangoes all the time. Hera loses 1. Hera could so easily lose them all. He loses 2. Villagers need to transfer tower. I think ballistics would hit really hard here too. You don't normally see it for a tower rush, but Hera's going
Look
back
at how
and
much
forth a
damage
lot.
that tower's doing to the Mangonel. Oh god, you have to have those villagers repairing at all times. He even has to buy wood so he can continue to repair the Mangonel.
By the way,
That's
folks,
gonna go down. No, Yo switches to the monks. No.
Yo, 2 TCs. 2 TCs. Hera, 1 TC in the back corner of the map. So the longer it takes for Hera to push this, the better this will be for Yo economically. But Hera could have quite the counterattack, honestly. And the Mangonel from Yo gets the kill. Pikeman upgrade is in. And a lot of the forward villagers have gone down for Yo, but he's still keeping some of those towers up.
No, I mean he's still got 6 forward. They're in the other tower.
Oh, I missed him.
He's done
Okay.
an excellent job.
Yep,
He's
yep,
done
yep.
an excellent job keeping them alive. How many towers have they hopped into? This is like number 8 or something. Masonry comes in for Yo. Oh my god, dude. He's not giving up. He's adding a 3rd town center behind too.
Will Hera ever send a couple villagers out there? There's a gold out there he can take. Does he try a siege workshop to hit Yo's base at all? Like, Yo's thinking he can just sneak the relics in now?
Attacking that tower with light cap is probably not good. He's got murder holes.
Yeah,
It's a guard tower.
I like how he's trying to push this single tower now where the vills are not. That's good. But Hera needs max repair vills. He had like 8 before. That's why it was working. He doesn't have 8 anymore. And now he loses a mango again. Yo will repair. He can't garrison. Can he garrison now? He does garrison. The pikes are there. The vills have to leave. This is chaos, dude. And the vills just retreat. Pikemen not
and the
moving.
Pikemen are on stand ground.
Yeah.
They're on stand ground. Yo's not paying attention. Yo's not paying attention. He's losing the pikemen. Oh, that's really bad. He only lost a couple, though.
Crazy.
And the mangonels are still pressuring, and Hera has almost freed himself of these towers. Almost. Another mangonel goes down, though. Oh my god, bro.
I mean, he's kind of working his way along this wood line now. He will drop a second TC. Another tower comes in. Mangonel v Mangonel here. It's weak for both. You cannot let that tower go up if you're Hera, and Yo deletes it.
Nope.
This is, guys, it's a bit easier for Hera to micro because, I mean, not saying what he's doing isn't impressive, but he's always at the same spot. Yo's got to look all the way home, and it's 3 town centers, not 1, and then also the push. But you could also argue it's like 10 times more difficult to micro because of the towers and the pikemen punish.
Yo.
Damn.
He just took out 2 monks. He just
And
took
so
out
many of the
2
light
monks
cap,
from
too.
Hera. Yep.
I don't
would
think...
also love to see Yo. I mean, you said it's difficult, but I'd love to see him snag the relics and bring them home right now. Oh, that's what he's doing.
He's doing
Let's
it.
go,
He's
dude.
doing it, yeah. Yep. And, honestly, I mean, you just kind of keep churning out those vills and keep trying to hold this position. You don't even need a push.
Yep.
You just need to hold it. I wouldn't even mind staying in Castle Age.
Has Hera made? That Siege Workshop has been producing for 70% of its existence. That is crazy.
Dude, I haven't done anything for 70% of my existence. Maybe, I guess, breathing is kind of important, but beyond that...
I think I would hope more than 70. Honestly.
I don't know, dude. My sleep apnea gets pretty rough sometimes. Now Hera drops that 3rd town center. Amazing how much food eco he has. Amazing how he's used that corner to the best of his ability. But Knights is not something he has a counter to. Knights are just a completely different scenario. Because
and
you can't convert
get
that easily either.
You should get Devotion if he's going for Knights as well. Teutons plus Devotion. Good luck converting those.
Teutons plus Devotion plus the fact that he's Mr. Yo is probably the hardest Knight to convert in the history of Age of Empires. It's a triple combo.
Another TC on the outside. They're from Hera.
I would love to see Hera just castle drop Yo's base. Like, I really think, but he's just so stuck here. And he has to respect this push. And he can't leave. Oh, God.
Old castle here. Oh, no. If Yo was just a little bit faster with those mangonels, he could have taken it out. He's got the +2 armor coming in for the Knights. He might have to fight before that. He's going for a tower. He's going to try and deny this castle. The light cap are coming in. Hera can't snipe those mangonels. And some great attack rounds from Hera on the pikemen. That might make the difference.
Yeah, but Knights are coming, Dave. Knights are still coming. And Knights are super strong. Both players lose 2 mangonels. The towers may be on the way up. Hera still has 3 mangonels alive. Knights are on the way. Yo's going to flee the tower.
Castle will go up.
Castle's at 80%. Hera lost a lot, though. He lost so much. It doesn't actually, like... It doesn't even take down some of these towers, too. I think Yo should build 1 or 2 more, but... Some of these towers will still be up. And Hera lost everything to get that castle up.
The Knights are still in there. They're very weak.
Yeah.
But they're still in there. And Yo's going to heal him up, and he's going to run around with these other ones. And
Nah,
Hera
dude.
just
Yo.
constantly has to have monks at the back.
Yo is going to drop a castle here, and he's going to go imp. And he's going to aim to treb all of this down. If that castle goes up, Hera's in a horrible position. But there's not a lot of vills ready for Yo, and here come the other vills. This would be... I've seen this from Yo before, and I've seen it so many times against Hera. You do so much of the work, you're just missing that final step. You just gotta complete the castle. It's not that risky. It's pretty smart here. I was worried he would show Hera, and Hera could snipe it.
Hera can't see it, right?
No. He's defending.
So, and Hera's extremely busy right now. He's trying to wall off his monk now. But now the monk was on top of the house foundation, so it deconversionifies, or whatever you call it. It loses the aggro against the knight.
Deconversionified. Damn.
Well, I can't say de-aggros because it's like trying to, woo the knight over.
Can we rename Devotion to deconversionified? Wow, what a game for Mr. Yo. What
that
a game from
insane.
Mr. Yo. That was just nonstop pressure. And that's been 2 games in a row now from Yo, where he has just put Hera under pressure, and Hera has never been able to cook in the way that he's used to and the way that he wants. The previous game, Hera trying to boom, and it was siege, and it was monks, and it was sneak docks. And then this game, the tower rush just kept going, and it just showed a little bit of lack of experience maybe from Hera against this particular strategy, but also just how good was Yo with that? Because Hera's defense, his macro, the whole game he was defending there was insane. He still collected more res, despite everything.
Honestly, I think Hera might have played on if Yo didn't get the quick walls at the end there too. Hera saw the castle and Yo quick walled his vills.
Yeah.
That might have been like the last straw for Hera, right? As he's still trying to deal with the knights. But that was incredible, man. If you put anyone else in that situation where Yo has 8 towers up in your base, still with villagers forward, I think they crumble. And Hera pushed that back.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yo, like, making the transition into knights and keeping those towers alive and getting the siege out and everything was amazing as well.
So this is now kind of uncharted waters for at least recent times. Hera has been down 3-2, I believe, in best of 7s, and even maybe in a final has had to win 2 straight. But Yo now close to winning the final here in this 10K Medieval Masters tourney. I think Hera called the GG because he knew the castle was there, and he knew what it meant. He knew Yo was going to be imp. But Yo's got to find one more to do it, and Hera's going to have to dig deep. But this has been exactly what you want from a final. Crazy strategies, back and forth, every game. And also, I feel pretty confident saying they're both playing pretty much at their peak. There's been very few big mistakes. Everything's looked smooth.
I think Hera game 1 was a little sloppy, maybe.
Maybe a little, maybe there. Yeah, I could agree with that.
But after that, it's been pretty good. Game 1, when he let the crossbows come in, and some of the fights he took against the cav archers were subpar for his standards. But since then, he's been pretty good.
Yeah. All right, so Yo doesn't go for Vikings, which was high up on his draft and kind of felt like the obvious choice. He instead goes for Lithuanians, which can be flexible. But yeah, I agree with you. I prefer the Dravidians with the water later on. So
weird little island generation in the center. This is so strange.
Yeah. One very tiny island and one very big island.
You just put a tower right there in the middle.
I mean, Dave, this immediately tells me that Yo is going to be he's going to be focusing a lot on land and like sneaking docks on water, and maybe we even see like spear skirm. To not pick Vikings here is really surprising to me. So,
I mean, also unfortunate setup for Mr. Yo with his island. He can be completely surrounded almost. I guess Hera can too, actually. The way this is generated, there's not a lot of landlock for either player. So if they lose water, you better get your villagers off of here pretty quick, because there's not a lot here. Was it in Warlords that Yo landed Hera's Island on this and then held on with like a fortified church? Or
that was versus Leary. That was versus Leary. Yep.
Leary, okay.
Yep, he won Armenians there. And that showed that you can lose water for a while and that you can go to lands and make it messy, but I just don't know. Do the Lithuanians have enough upside? I'm double checking their navy. So they don't get shipwright. They can go galleon. They can go fast fire. Okay, so it's not bad. It's just not what the Dravidians and the Vikings could do. So
They also get a good start with the extra 100 food, which is great. And obviously, if we're fighting a full-on land battle, I think I would favor Lithuanians against Dravidians.
Yeah, I would agree. At least if it comes down to multiple buildings. If this is just like a couple skirms here or there, don't mind the Dravidians, but both players bringing their scouts forward with the transport that you start with, hoping to deny the docks. Yo's looking on the right side of Hera's Island, and Hera's actually going to dock the front, and Hera knows this is meta now, so he's walling in his villager. And
Yo is walling his in. Even though it's at the very back, he's still walling it in.
That's smart.
So good.
Really smart. Actually, not a bad spot to dock as far as this map is concerned. Yo didn't scout it, but there's 2 deep fish nearby, which is kind of uncommon here.
I mean, look at the deep fish for Hera. He's got 1 in the general vicinity.
Yeah, but he can control that middle area. Imagine if Hera goes 2 docks, builds his second dock in the river in the middle. There's more fish there. And now he's scouted, and he knows that Yo's fish are in the north. So I think that should be Hera's game plan here. His Civ is way more flexible on water. But you got to have faith in Mr. Yo. Hera's going to try and eject his scout through there. It will not actually allow you to do so.
Yeah, unless you get really, really lucky, you can't get it in there. The villager's body blocking it.
Or if the player panics and they click their villager back a little bit. ACCM did that against Hera once, and then the scout was able to get in there. So just don't panic, and you're fine. A big island on the right side, and that's where the scouts are going to be now. So I would say if you're going to go land, and they will, they'll usually bring villagers for a lumber camp. This is probably the side that both players are going to go to, which... Hold on, though. If you're Hera, and it feels like the obvious choice to go here because there's more space, and you don't want to be hit on land, maybe you actually go to the left. Because Yo's definitely coming to the
maybe,
right.
But like, how long are you going to hide that, right? Yo's already scouted all that area. So Yo, if he's wondering where you are, he can even like take a look at the deer and see if they're being hunted or like running away from things, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So I feel like wherever you go, you're only going to be able to hide for 20, 30 seconds before your opponent knows.
Yep, fair point.
You're over there.
So both on the way up. No big difference with the res collected right now. The Dravidians have the extra pop space from the docks, the extra carry capacity on the fishing ships, and they receive plus 200 wood when they get to each age. So that's the flexibility. That's just the additional resources Hera can use. 200 wood doesn't sound like a lot, but at this level, that's an insane spike. And Hera will come to this side for the lumber camp, and there comes Yo. And look, both of their scouts are looking for this. And both of their scouts are going to find that the other is there. I think this is a big thing to worry about right now if you're Hera.
Oh, and he got some really nice hits on the scout from Yo early with the villagers.
That was crazy. That's half the scout right there. Yeah, Yo goes for the barracks. Yo's
going to be slightly faster to feudal age, though. So
yeah,
he might be able to get a couple hits in before Hera's scout is upgraded. I mean, Yo could bring his transport ship. I think that's what you were going to say, right?
I think they both are, yeah. Hera's ready just in case he needs to run. It's crazy how, now that we've had this in a couple tourneys, the meta's kind of developed here. And Yo needs to hop in, and he gets in.
He's in.
And the scout is safe and just switches to the other side. Hera's going to see that and say, wait a sec, I'm coming after you. And Yo's scout's like, actually, nope, no thank you.
Go back.
Does he have the speed? Area. No, he loses it. He loses it.
He's not paying attention.
But you know where Hera's scout is not right now? Hera's scout didn't see the barracks. Hera's scout did not see the range. So he does not know that all of this is about to unfold. And he's going water.
Hera's scout is now seeing the barracks and is now seeing the range. But he does get hit with the skirmisher or the spearman, so...
I just think Hera needs a tower. You just need to tower this. Just play safe for now. Don't mess around. This can get out of hand really quickly. Yo might do kind of what he did in the previous game, and he might tower the tower and be happy to engage against this.
I mean, I guess there's galleys there from Hera. I was about to say, what if you transport your villas to Hera's Island and tower there instead with the skirms and spears?
That's definitely something to consider further down the line. Like, I don't hate that. Hera's scout's going to go down here. This is about to get really messy, and this is exactly what Yo wanted. If you pick Lithuanians, you want this. If you wanted water, you would have gone Vikings in the first place. So, not easy to focus on your water at the same time now. Tower v tower. The next thing now is who's mining stone. Yo is walking back and forth to stone, and Hera, I believe, is somewhere, or at least was.
Hera did take 10.
Yeah.
From his stone mine at home.
Yeah, so that's... It just comes down to who can repair the longest here, but... Hera opened galleys initially. His fire and his galleys are going to be on the move. Yo's fish freely and safe in the backside. Still fishing that extra deep fish, but he's got galleys as well, and Hera's galleys are going to meet him.
Hera's about to get fletching, so he can range this field. Yo might lose that before he realizes what's happening.
Yep, and Yo also getting his galleys hit because he didn't patrol, and Hera did. And now... Oh! Yep, that dude fletching was so big. Hera just ahead on water and also sniping the villager. Yeah. But maybe it's intentional from Yo. Maybe he's just passing. He's like, I just don't want you to fish. I'm not trying to win water. I'm just trying to keep things competitive.
3 on food is quite concerning for Yo, and they're all fishing ships that could die soon.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to get this sorted out. He's going for a mill on his own island so he can take the 2 box turtles. Interesting.
I mean, he needs a mill before farms.
For farms, yeah.
And, oh, Yo is Vill rushing.
Now.
Yo is Vill rushing. Hera's house is going to go down, dude. What in the world is this? Hera's tower could go down.
There's not a lot of skirms there. There's way more skirmishers here for Yo. That tower is going to go down. The tower's getting some good hits on the villagers. Hera's trying to engage now, but the skirms are there for Mr. Yo. The tower is behind for Mr. Yo, still getting damage against the Vills. Hera saves those ones, and he kills one from Yo, and he's still got his skirmishers alive. So far, really good effort here from Hera to defend.
Yeah, agreed. It's really messy. It's really messy, but will it pay off? Hera's just hoping he shoots down Yo's tower.
He's out of stone. He's out of stone. He can't repair anymore.
So it'll be skirms and villagers.
Disaster.
Wait, Yo can repair. It's 8 HP. The tower's 8 HP. He actually repaired it with 8 HP. His tower will be back. Will still be there. That's huge. So
what a push from Yo. What a push. What a push. What
that's
a push.
Crazy.
This could be, dude. This could be the beginning of the end for Hera here.
Hera just he just clicked the rhino, and the rhino's gonna kill his Vills!
It's gonna it killed the skirm. Oh my god, he saved but he doesn't get the meat from the rhino because the galleys had to kill it.
Oh my god.
What a disaster here for Hera. Disastrous couple minutes forced out by Mr. Yo. He's still alive though. He is still alive. He has 3 fish, he has 4 galleys, and he's transporting over to the other side. Eco KD only 4-3 after all of that.
Yeah, now if you're Yo, you're probably gonna make a little bit more on water. But also, Hera should recognize that's the obvious thing. There's no way that Yo can do damage with these skirms right now unless the transport comes around. That would actually be super clutch. The transport is on the left side. Did Hera not build a mill yet? Is he just now building his first mill?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so Yo milled the back preemptively and also added the farms, which of course you can't do until you place the mill. And that's a big difference maker now. Res collected still even, but yeah, Hera super late on the farms because of all the chaos.
Yo's gonna find a skirmisher that's out of position for Hera. The galleys are coming forward, and Yo has a fire galley now. He's also looping another one out to the right side, so he's looking for the fish from Hera. And Hera's transporting more villagers over to join those on the left island. But right now, man, Yo's got to be feeling pretty good about that push. That was an aggressive push against that position.
The weird thing is, as a player, so in Yo's position, and here comes his transport, by the way. Dude, how does this transport survive? Wait, where are we going, Yo? Be careful. Oh, he's blocking.
Where are you? He's trying to block it. Oh, that's so ambitious, dude.
Get out.
Oh my god.
Get out.
I mean, the transport is slightly faster than the galleys.
Get out.
But slightly. He needs to go. He needs to move, man.
And Hera has the tower. I mean, it's good that Hera scouted that, I suppose. But let's think about this.
It's slightly faster than the galleys. He might survive. He might survive if he's not blocked.
Yo never lost his fish. That was a key element. Hera was going for water. Yo now has the bigger island locked down. He's kind of got Hera a little bit trapped. He knows that Hera's villagers are weak here too. So he's forcing some reactions and making it messy. And he's on his way to Castle Age, and Hera is nowhere near.
Look at Hera's food.
Clicking up.
Look at Hera's food here. I mean, he can go for a market and buy some food, but it's not going to be enough. And Yo did save the transport ship, which could matter big time. But he could send those skirms actually over to Hera's home island.
But it's really hard to fully finish off Hera, and it's really hard to fully finish off someone on Pacific Islands. What do you do now if you're Yo? Like, do you go Navy? Do you go Boom?
For sure. Navy for sure.
Well, he does have that one fire. He's producing a couple more. Transport ship's still alive, by the way. Is Yo about to transport the skirms to Hera's starting island now?
Yeah, like he dodged around those galleys. It's got 0.02 more speed than the galleys, and he's sending the transport ship back towards his home island. I was thinking he might send the skirms over there, but
I honestly think keeping the skirms there just so you can prevent Hera from moving out is a pretty smart play. Like, just, you need to know where Hera goes. And you might want to outpost the right island as well if Hera tries to come back.
Yep.
Doc's
on the way to Castle Edge. That's impressive. That's a good time for him, all things considered.
But I agree with you, but look at Yo's resources right now. Yo's got crazy resources. Like, the only thing he's missing is the stone for the immediate TC. That's kind of a bummer he can't do that. And I don't think he ever built a market. So this is a just pure eco balance situation, but he can get the War Galley upgrade, and with the War Galley upgrade, make a difference. Yo, transporting again, dude. I swear, this transport has been the absolute key. He blocked
he
a
probably
ship
wants
with
to
it
go
too.
for. Yeah, he probably wants to go for a siege workshop or something on the other side, and Hera's actually making it stable on the left, so that's nice from Hera. He's anticipating the siege in the monks, maybe. Stable isn't the greatest for Dravidians, but still. Well, really nice. It's gonna be a stable for Yo.
Hera's gonna need some TCs on areas with resources, because the starting area is not looking
War Galley
too
tech
good.
comes in at the perfect time. This fire galley is right next to the galleys. Turn around. You kill that one for free, and now Hera is kind of in a fire sandwich over here if Yo ejects the ones from that dock.
And now Yo loops in from the left side. It's looking pretty good right now for Yo. He's looping in from the left. The fishing eco for Hera that he added, thinking he won water, is going to start to get picked off. And now a second TC for Yo on the right, which is super safe. And now skirms, but also knights from Yo coming in to pressure underneath Hera's tower here. Hera's got a lot of different things he has to focus on right now. This is extremely difficult.
And the resources are still really good. And Hera's trying to go for a TC there. As he sees the knight coming in, cancels that. Great idea. You cannot try and get that TC up. He's going to go for the monastery instead, just holding on to the edge of that island. So much map control here from Mr. Yo. He comes in with more navy now. Hera can't afford the upgrade. Hera's just getting it right now.
Hera is stuck on this island, Dave. He does not have a TC there. The knights are in. He's losing on water a little bit. He did kill some fish, but the villagers are still weak from before. Mr. Yo can keep this pressure on water and on land. Hera is going to crumble to this. The stats say it's close, though, and Hera actually kills the knight with the tower.
And even goes for an elephant.
I actually don't hate it. He loses another
villager. That's 3 vills, I think. The resources are still there for Yo to produce knights. Like, he's still got the food, right? And now he's gone for a monastery because he sees the elephant. He's got 2 knights over there. Hera finally does go for a TC right up against the edge. Yo had his second TC on the other island a long time ago. And, I mean, the numbers are still close, man. The numbers are still close here.
The navy count from Hera is just so key. And remember, guys, Dravidians are just so good here compared to Lithuanians in the late game. Yo picked the Lithuanians to get the land fight. Still think there's some question on oh god, the scout goes in. Will the elephant get converted? The elephant does not get converted, and then the knight does get converted. That's a crazy swing for Hera. He might actually be able to save his monk as well in the tower. Yep, he's gonna save that monk in the tower. Damn.
At least Yo kills the converted knight. That's the only knight Hera's gonna get at this stage because he can't make him himself. But still, more scouts coming out. That was a great bit of work there from Hera to add that stable early and get the scouts out early to counter any monks from Mr. Yo.
I think, I mean, Hera knows he's kind of strapped for space, but you can still TC near this monastery in a moment, because I think there's no scouts from Yo. The monks can move forward. We'll push the knights away. It's kind of okay. But long-term, Hera really has to try and get some activity over on the right side.
Oh, Yo got that conversion. Nice.
Okay, gains a scout. It's not bad.
Where's the transport ship?
Great question. It's going to be used in some way, I'm sure. He might actually send the knights to Hera's starting island now, because he can't benefit from having the knights here with the monks there. Yo's eco lead is growing, though, Dave. And he's got... soon has enough stone for a castle. But where do you put the castle? I feel like...
I think
don't have an
you
answer.
put it on the right side island in that triple choke point area. And then dock there.
Yeah, maybe. Well, amazing job. Like, maybe anyone but Hera, and Yo already won. Like, Hera's ability to hold on here has been incredible. But I felt the same in the previous game, and Yo the strategy ended up winning in the end, just because he was so persistent.
He's still making monks from that monastery, but like Hera's controlling that really well. And it's very difficult for Yo to get any value from his monks, right? He's just not getting the conversions. Hera kills him with the scouts immediately.
Finally, Lightcap is in. Dravidian monks, don't think they get, what's the upgrade? Sanctity? Yeah, I don't think they get Sanctity. And Yo blocks the elephant.
They do get Sanctity. They don't get Redemption.
Ah, okay.
Or Fervor.
Well, I think with Sanctity, it would maybe make sense. Maybe a couple pikes there for Hera, but his barracks isn't here. And Hera snipes the monk. Hera sees that there's not much going on here for Yo. It's not like Yo has a TC. As I say that, though, Yo thought about a TC there. And actually just drops another stable. Has
He's
lot
almost
of
got
stone.
enough stone. He's almost got enough stone. He's got 22 on food now. The forward dock is coming up over there. Is Yo going to transport villagers over and drop a castle on Hera's main island? Surely not, right?
I think he's going to,
God.
but if Hera transports to TC this island at the same time, Yo might just want a defensive castle.
Oh, and Hera can buy himself a castle to deny that.
No, dude, they're both gonna...
Oh, no.
Yo? Does Yo see this?
He's gonna see the villagers. He's gonna see the villagers, and that's just an instant
counter castle. Deer needs to move. Hera's castle might not go up. Hera needs to cancel his. I think. He doesn't see that Yo is building one. He doesn't see that Yo is building one.
How does he? He doesn't see. What? How does he not see?
He has no clue.
Oh my god. Oh no, this could be the end.
I don't know.
This could be the end.
Hera's is at 70%, but it's 90% for Yo. Yo needs to immediately focus all those vills. 80% for Hera. 1 vill dead. 2, 3,
89.
4.
Doubt. 91.
He can't do it. Yo needs to wall it up. Yo needs to wall it up right now. Full wall that. It will never go up, and this could be Yo's victory. Hera still has some good moments on the left side. You could tell Yo's freaking out right now. He lost the vills. There's Lycav there. It's getting walled up. And Hera has to do something else now. He wanted to go imp. It would have been brilliant. If the castle completed anywhere and he was an imp, I think Hera could maybe get the job done, but now his vill count is so low.
He's still on the way. He's still on the way to imp, but look at this.
Oh, he's going to delete his barracks. He's going to delete his barracks. He will delete his barracks to try and do this.
He's going to come back the other way.
Yo.
He's going to come back the other way. He's going to try and complete this. I don't know if you can get this up, though, with these vills.
I think you
don't
can.
know if that's enough.
I think you can.
I
actually think you can. You have to dodge the castle fire.
96, 97.
He's dodging it.
He's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. It's 97.3. What an attempt from Hera. 97.98, baby. The castle's not going up.
Oh, my God. Dude, Yo's heartbeat. I mean, my heartbeat's going crazy. Yo's heartbeat must be insane right now. He needs to...
Oh, the blood pressure just shot up for sure.
He needs to wall more.
Holy cow.
He needs to wall way more. Like, that's not enough. I want 6 layers of wall. That's too close.
And he's got the ram working away on that castle.
Yeah, that's fine then.
Eventually, Hera's gonna tap it, right?
Well,
holy cow! What a moment! Oh, demo on the left. Demo on the left. He's baiting the light cav in from Hera. He doesn't get it. Oh.
Well, Hera's gonna hit him. And this is not going to feel even close to over from Yo's perspective because as he deletes the demo, you can tell they play with a bit of lag there. But Hera's still got TCs. Hera's got Navy. And Hera's Dravidians. And the score is remotely close. The score doesn't indicate that there's a 30 villager lead. So I still think Hera's got some opportunities here. And obviously, when you've got Hera in a position where he loses this, he loses the finals. He's not anywhere close to tapping. So,
big fight on the left. We have Lightcap there from Yo. He hasn't noticed this yet. He's still got Lightcap in the stables.
Yeah,
and it's Dravidian Lightcap, so he should be able to push these back perfectly fine.
He needs to drop. He's going to drop a castle here, not next to the elephant.
No, don't drop it right next to the elephant.
The deer, the deer. Oh my!
Yeah, the deer might have saved him. There,
oh my! Yeah, but true, true. Yo, a deer. A castle's gonna go up. A female deer. Well, as we discussed, fast fire is available to the Lithuanians. So, with Hera's current economic state, he can't really go for that many ships.
Oh, the pikeman barracks is being rammed down.
Ooh.
That could actually matter. I don't think it'll be in time though.
It's pretty close.
And ram.
But yeah.
Pretty close.
I mean, this really right now just comes down to worse tech but better map control and better economy.
Yeah.
And if Yo, the first thing Yo needs to really start with is just the water again. Fast fires on the sea, and then Hera has no way to transport around, and he's really restricted in movement.
And you look at Hera's eco, he's not really set up to go back on water right now.
Exactly. Yeah, Hera has to go land. But then again, I mean, you could also just think water doesn't matter if you're Yo, because you've got the right side island and Hera doesn't, and then you've got a castle on the left. Just crazy moments here, guys, because Hera just has not been losing. He has not been losing, and Mr. Yo has also not really been able to get the better of him in quarters or semis or finals, wherever they've met, but the strategy from Yo has been sick.
It's fast fire coming in first for Hera, so definitely the emphasis for Yo is land. Definitely.
Yeah. Yo's not really adding docks to indicate that he cares about water at all. Normally there would be 2 or 3 docks going up somewhere.
I mean, to be fair, right now, the wood supply for Hera is all over on that left side. And so if he wins that push on the left side, it's going to be a problem, right? Hera can still transport to the wood on the outside. Or maybe over to the right island somewhere, but...
Dude, forget wood. Gold. Like, that TC he just lost has more gold than anywhere else for him. He's going to be completely out of gold. And hand cannons are going to be on the way from Yo. Trebs are going to be on the way from Yo. I think this should be Mr. Yo's game. Honestly.
Should be. But we've seen... I mean, how many times have we seen it, right? Hera just comes back from these situations. Yo has been playing some phenomenal Age of Empires today. And in this game so far.
Yep. Devotion now for Yo. Because he saw a couple monks there. He sees a bombard cannon. His light cav will go in for that. Maybe not possible for him to get the snipe. He's just trying to treb down Hera's town center, honestly.
Oh, does he get the bombard cannon with the treb? No, he hits a tree.
Hera, 8 on gold. 8 on gold, 2 tiles of gold left, 0 relics. But he does have a cannon galleon coming from the right side.
But Yo's got monks. He's got to be careful with that.
Monk's
also
getting
has a bomber cannon there too.
And Monk gets sniped. Hera getting some great value from the engagements. You can tell Yo has a lot to manage right now. Hera somehow 100 eco. Don't ask me how. He's going to run out of resources soon, but he has it. And he could try skirms as the Dravidians here. He does have Bracer already, so skirms is actually pretty realistic for him.
Yo just needs more siege to help push this. Like a treb from behind could get such value.
Also,
if your
just
army is forward.
10 fires, and Hera loses water. 10 fires, and
well,
I'm seeing the docks
he's
on the right.
redocking on the right side.
Yeah. Yo is just gonna drop a castle. God! Don't drop that castle.
This is the Yo energy. This is the Yo energy.
Oof, but Hera
that we're used to.
But Hera has bombard cannons there, Dave. I think this is risky for Yo, but you're right. He's just sending it to finish him off. He's just sending it to get the win. Castle's taking a lot of damage. This is messy for
Castle
Mr.
goes
Yo.
up. It's really, really messy for Hera, though.
Yeah, true.
If that castle goes up, and it looks like it will, and if Yo manages to keep that castle alive, it gets really dicey. And you can see Hera just trying to desperately push away the bombard cannons. He's losing his helms because of it. Now he has to abandon this position underneath the TC. We'll see if Yo can eventually take out those bombard cannons from Hera.
Yo,
He's bringing his over now.
both players very little on gold. Yo obviously has access, but some of his gold's getting hit by Hera's Navy in the north randomly. So Yo needs to shift some vills around the gold on the other island right now.
Dude, Hera's got 66 villagers in this little peninsula here.
He's clinging on to everything he has left. What little he has left. But he doesn't actually have many skirms. I think the hand cannons from Yo can actually go in for those bombard cannons. Because those ranges are camped by the castle.
I think the Treb is unpacking to attack the bombard cannons.
I think so.
Let's see if he gets it.
I think so. And Hera saw it as well. Hera saw it and actually backed away.
Dude, Hera's running out of time. He's running out of space. He's running out of everything here.
And the fast fires will come in to maybe seal the deal in a second here for Mr. Yo. He's got the production on the right side. They're queued up. He's getting upgrades coming in. Obviously, he's got way more access to gold. Hera snipes a bombard cannon with the cannon galleons, and now he snipes the Treb with the cannon galleons and his bombard cannons. He's still holding. He's still not dead. He's got ballistic Dravidian skirms. They're insanely strong, and he's got a lot in those ranges that he can pop out with at any time. Oh my goodness.
That castle did so much for Yo, though. That castle was so ballsy.
Yeah.
And it's forced Hera back into this position, and look at even Hera's woody go. Soon there's not gonna be any wood to take.
Dude, Hera's gonna have so many skirms. He's gonna have so many skirms, and those bombard cannons he will not lose. He refuses to lose them. Almost really poor timing there.
More, dude. Jinx it more.
Yeah, I was gonna say almost really poor timing on that comment, but it feels like he knows this is all he's got. Like, Yo's got other things to look at. He knows he can't lose those bombard cannons.
Where are the fires from Yo? Why are they not coming in yet? He's just busy.
He's so busy.
I guess.
Yeah, he's so busy. He's so freaking busy. Keeping up with Hera's micro, you can't do anything else. I like the latest edition. And one bomber cannon down for Yo. He's just still sinking. He's buying himself more time here, Dave, is what he's doing with these repairs.
Big shot. Big shot from Yo. He takes out a bomber cannon from Hera. Is this enough to get another one? He takes another one. The latest are coming in, Tristan. Latest are a problem. Hera's trying to save the bomber cannons. He's only got one left.
The fires are coming in. The fires are coming in. The cannon galleons will definitely go down. And then Hera will be completely surrounded on this little peninsula. He won't have wood. He will not have gold. And
what are the fires doing?
It's all right, Dave. I think he's okay. He's got the numbers. And Hera's got no gold, dude. He's got that one bomber cannon. He's got no golds. And Yo still has everything. Hera's going to dock now. Hera's going to try and hold on more.
Hera is holding like a god right now against this somehow.
Yeah, I mean,
Yo getting the +2 armor now. I mean, Yo is at 147 villagers. Hera's at 101, and they're basic. Half of them are over here.
Yeah.
In this tiny little area. The other half are, I don't even know. Where are they?
Hera's dropping a castle? He's dropping a castle on his opponent's castle. What? He's also landing a bunch of villagers to their death as he desperately tries to get some gold anywhere. Hera might get gold because he just dropped this castle. I don't know if the castle stays up.
Skirmisher numbers from Yo are looking good, but skirmisher numbers from Hera are looking better.
How is Hera producing fires right now? He just sold stone. Like, how is he getting gold? How is he making any gold units? This is crazy. Like, how is he not dead? The man should be dead. He should be in the ground right now.
He should be dead. He should be dead, but he's not.
Well, he's just lost a lot of vills. He still can't mine the gold if Yo is trebbing that castle. And Yo has ranges with his own skirms now, and he didn't have great upgrades on the skirms before. He's still missing ballistics. But he actually has as many skirms as Hera now. And Hera sold his stone a moment ago to get gold. So he might not be able to repair this for very long.
Oh, God. Still no ballistics for Yo. It's brutal.
He's got 50.
It's really, really brutal.
57 on gold, though, Mr. Yo. 57. And he took the castle back.
Hera's pushing this back. How much wood is remaining here for Hera in this little corner? Not much.
Not much.
We got 1,300. Hera's pushing. He takes out another Treb. This is such a great push here from Hera. Yo has all the map control. He has a much better economy. 60 villagers.
Yeah.
70 villagers over Hera right now. But it feels like he just can't get anything rolling.
Well, he needs wood right now. He needs bombard cannons, and he needs to cling to another castle. You know what happens?
Houses.
What happens in these games, guys, that we can focus on but players can't, is you just queue vills, make military, and micro. And Yo is overboomed right now. He's too many villagers, actually. He needs more military to compete with Hera. Now, he can produce forever. He can lose units, and he can replace them. Hera can't, but Hera's done an incredible job to cling to life here with basically no access to gold at times.
Right as he runs out of wood, he gets another wood line. He can transport to the outside for the wood out there, but it's very risky and it's time consuming.
I also don't know if he'll
He's
think
just
about
fighting.
that. But yeah, that's a really big play on this map that Hera needs to think of. Yo's getting all the HP upgrades. He's double checking upgrades. He needs to queue ballistics. He still doesn't have that. And he's just got to be waiting for Hera to run out of res. That's all he's doing. He's like, come on. Like, how is he not dead yet?
You gotta have some presence on water, though.
Yeah, he keeps
Like,
trying.
if he had those fires with a few cannon galleons, he could have taken out the entire, like, main base of Hera. Even if he just transports some vills over there, or transports some Latus over to Hera's main island, it disrupt the entire farm eco.
Well, Dave, right now he's getting Elite Latus. So you called it. Now, that might just be to push these skirms and the bombard cannons, but Elite Latus, he's certainly got the gold to spend. And the skirms he's going to toss away here, but he will take out one of Hera's bombard cannons. That puts Hera down to 1 now.
He's going to take out 2, unless Hera can dodge that, which he can't.
And so Hera can't make progress here. He can't push.
And gold is still a big issue for Hera, right? We've been talking about the wood, but that's the only gold right now. That's it.
And Yo's Latus are... He freed up some pop space there. He also, I think, deleted some vills. Maybe lost some vills. He still has gold on the other island. He has the 2 relics. I think we might actually, finally, have the final fight. And the final boss might be killed off here. Because that's
God,
a lot
of these
of
fights
Latus.
already were final fights, dude. the fight at the beginning when Hera had to move, the castle denial, and then we had 3 different ones over here where Hera somehow survived. He continues to survive.
Hera, he doesn't have the eco to produce halbs. He's got 9 halbs. Even if it's 20 halbs, like 15 Latus, 20 Latus, wreck everything here. And Yo's still got some water presence.
What an insane hole. Like I said at the beginning of this series, Hera hates to lose. He despises it. And you can see it here, dude.
I think
he is just holding on.
I think everybody hates to lose, but a lot of people have just gotten used to it because they've had to play Hera.
Yep.
But no, yeah, I mean, you can just tell. He is no quit.
Oh, here they come!
And here they come!
The latest! Oh, baby! One of the strongest units in the game.
Yeah.
How can Hera fight this?
He can't. I mean, he'll take the best engagement possible. He'll put the halbs on the front, but they ignore armor. They'll full clear this. And this will be Mr. Yo winning the final right here. There's no doubt about it. Hera, he falls back, but falls back to what? Dude, falls back to that single tower, which is supposed to protect him.
It's got 7 kills.
Yeah.
Tower's been going crazy. Burning Treb now, which would be a great band name as well. Rolling forward from Mr. Yo. And Hera is just losing everything, dude. He's down to 69 villagers.
Yeah, I think he doesn't want to accept it. He almost can't believe it because he's played so well today, right? Like, Hera's played insane. But Mr. Yo, able to find the ingredients to mix it up and make it chaotic. And Hera taps out. And Mr. Yo wins the final. Hera's still got that S streak rolling. He's still on those S tier tournaments. He's still got a massive streak rolling, but $10,000 1v1 tournament goes to Mr. Yo. And the way he won this, Dave, it's just all about...
3 wins in a row against Hera as well. 3 wins to cap that off.
The chaos. All about the chaos. I think later on tonight, I think Hera's going to be... he's going to be kicking himself for going to the right island. Right? Because, like... with Lithuanians, you know Yo's going to send something. And it got crazy chaotic.
Yep.
And but again, this game could have been over 15 minutes ago. How Hera stayed alive in this game is absolutely incredible. Mr. Yo had to give every ounce of energy to get it done, and he wins. Crazy games.
I mean, an incredible series. Each game had its own little flavor. I think with the exception of the Fortress game, all absolute bangers.
Yep.
So just credit to Yo, credit to Hera as well. You said it. No one else could have stayed alive in this game as long as he did. Absolutely no one else.
And you want the winner to look like they had to earn it, right? And I think when someone's as good as Hera, there's always the people who want to find reasons why and like explain it away. But for me, how good Hera played, it just all plaudits go to Yo, because there was not a lot of question on Hera's performance today. Maybe game number 1 a little bit shaky, but like it was just, there were 3 games pretty much in a row where Yo was just doing wild crap and sending it at Hera, and it's just not something you encounter every game. So that GG.
Castle denial was so funny.
Oh
too.
yeah,
the fact he couldn't see Yo's castle going up. And then he tries to complete it with the 4 from the other side. I next time I see Yo in person, I'm gonna mentally note that down and ask him how he felt when he saw those 4 bills.
I wish he had a heart rate monitor, dude. If Hera's castle went up, I think he wins the game, because he like trebs and then does everything else on the left. So,
yeah, well, I think Yo does take that out with Petards in the Ram, because he was already making the Ram to begin with.
Yeah, true.
But like, it's so distracting, and it shuts down a lot of his eco over there. And if Hera could do that on the left side without a castle up over on the right, imagine what he could have done with that distraction happening.
Yep, agreed. Crazy. Great series to watch. Great Age of Empires, obviously. It maybe means Hera comes back just as hungry to get more wins in the future. I'm sure Hera's going to have plenty of tourney wins in the future, but it's good to see Mr. Yo get one, man. He's always top 4, always top 5, has been for like a decade, and he's won tournaments before, but it feels like more often than not, maybe he's losing in the semis or he's losing in the finals. So,
oh, interesting. I was wondering why it took him so long to resign. At the end there, look at the EAPM. I think he probably couldn't believe it. He probably was like looking at the screen like, God damn. And it took him a while to type.
Like Hera's APM dipping?
Yeah,
maybe.
At the very end.
Yeah.
It was just like a moment of realization where he's like, oh God, I'm cooked.
Hera's slow realization APM still higher than everyone's. still higher than Mr. Yo's peak the entire game somehow. But hey, it was a really fun watch. That's what we want from Age of Empires, right? We want like mixed strategy, and we want the underdogs to get the win every once in a while. So shout out to Mario. I don't know how many viewers speak Spanish, but Mario's on YouTube. Find a moment, even if you don't speak Spanish, leave a comment on his videos. Say great tournament. This first time he got some funds from World's Edge and Microsoft. So thanks to him and his team for putting on.
And he's a good guy too.
On the work, and he's a really good guy. Yeah. He's good. He's good to us and good to the scene. Really valuable to the scene's growth as well. I know the English speaking community might not necessarily know all that, but yeah, dude, I'm happy with that. The fun cast, and both our predictions were wrong, but your prediction that Yo would win was correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Mine was more right. And you said, we're not going to call it 4-2. That's boring. Well,
it finally happened. Yeah.